And we're back, maybe? Question
That
mark,
watch-
hopefully.
Don't swim.
Hashtag YOLO.
All right, it's coming up. No, maybe. It's trying.
No, Josh, you don't have to leave. Kills the stream.
I would have left.
No, the show's not over. We've had 2 guests. It's supposed to be the guest extravaganza.
I know.
It
Okay,
looks like
I
it's
think we fixed it now. I blame I blame Steam.
Batman.
I thought I had it set to do not update, but apparently Marvel Heroes was just like, screw you guys, I'm updating.
Why
Nobody
do you
liked
still have that game?
I don't know.
The game was not very fun.
No, it was not.
I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry, people who really enjoy that game, but
Well, and that's kind of why I keep going back to Warcraft, is I just have so many friends in there. I have so much fun, and these other games so far, nothing has really pulled me in that way other than, well, obviously Hearthstone, but I mean, oh no, that's number 2. Oh, we mentioned it twice.
uh,
Sorry.
I don't even know what happens. That's how scared I am right now. It's like when someone
Well, it's like when you say it 3 times, the innkeeper comes out of your computer and murders you horribly. It's like Bloody Mary, but
let's just say that's not
I almost said the H word. Ah.
that's not the first video message Garrett just sent us. Say it 3 times. That's a bad Garrett impression.
That's terrible.
Not like Garrett at all.
I
I
don't
don't even
was
know why
supposed to be a Garrett impression.
it wasn't.
All right, so Nucky's question.
Yeah, Nucky's question. So Jocelyn
Christmas
says
gift.
buy all the Warlords or Hearthstone gift packs. But like I think that's actually solid. Like if you're really into Hearthstone, if you're really into Smite, why stray from the teat? You know, like just stay where it's in company. Sorry, I grew up on a farm, guys.
Oh my god.
You sure that's a virgin eggnog, man?
No, it's not. Yes, it is. Actually, now I'm drinking water. But
Oh
anyways,
my god.
why go to another game that you might not enjoy? It's definitely just keep supporting your obsession. You know, getting
Exactly.
Hearthstone packs, Smite gems, Steam credit. But that's kind of boring. But I think if you want like multi-platform sort of like next gen titles,
Well, I
Dragon
mean, like-
Age is a solid purchase.
Yeah, that's what
across
I was going
all
to say.
platforms.
Dragon Age was I
Absolutely.
haven't even played it yet, but I
You
would
know-
go on Steam and see what else I can think of, but then that would crash the stream again.
Yeah, don't do that. Dragon Age is a solid purchase. It works well across all systems. Val, friend of the show, who wrote a fantastic email that we're going to read at the end here. But
Oh, are we? I didn't see that.
yeah, I collected that. I put it in the docs. I could read it later. But she is playing on the 360 and is enjoying it. It's doesn't look as good, but that's a solid purchase. If you are by chance on a Nintendo system, Smash Brothers,
Oh yeah.
3DS or Wii U, solid purchase. I don't know, Josh. What do you think?
Um.
I already stole the best one.
Well, I mean, if you're old enough, GTA 5 is definitely a fun one, and they just did a updated graphic release, so
Ooh, yeah.
it's always a guilty pleasure kind of game.
Mhm.
And yeah, so you mentioned Smash Brothers, Dragon Age, Shadows of Mordor.
Oh
It's
yeah.
an excellent
Oh,
game.
yeah.
My
Oh.
Christmas list.
I already have it, but I haven't played it nearly enough, obviously. I think I played for about an hour, and that's kind of my problem, is I've played Shadows of Mordor, there was another one, I played Call of Duty, and I play all of these things for 2-ish hours. I get a feel for the game, I enjoy it, and then I go, I need to go check my garrison. I need to go build a deck. So, you know, it just, nothing this year has really grabbed me away from the awesome that is WoW, especially since the Warlords expansion dropped, so...
Dragon Age will.
Yeah.
That's what Ryan keeps saying.
I don't know. Like I think that for me, WoW hasn't. We've talked about this many times, but WoW has never grabbed me in the way it's grabbed me, like 5 years ago, like when I was playing religiously, and I don't think it'll ever get back to that point. I was saying we had a raid meeting, and I was thinking like, yeah, I really dug the once a week scheduled 2-hour raid. I thought I would never say that, but I really enjoyed it because it's like I only have to play WoW for 2 hours a week, and then I can go out and play other stuff.
What is this language? I only have to play WoW?
I know.
Get out.
That's the thing is, like, I really do not enjoy WoW more than the prescribed time. Like, I enjoy the story and I want to get back to it, but it's just not as advanced as some of the games out there that we could be playing. I'm not trying to downplay.
I would boot Ryan from the call, but he's actually hosting it right now, so if I do that, then...
That's a poor argument. I mean, I'm going to stop you right there. That's a very poor argument. Like, Dragon Age is a fantastic title. I'm not... Josh is the new TGI co-host. You know what? If Josh and I agreed on everything, this would be a boring show.
And, we've talked about that a lot over the years because, I mean, we've managed over the past 3 years to not get too heated. We're usually pretty good with each other. We don't really, jump down each other's throats or cut each other off or, have actual screaming matches. None of that. We're very polite, we listen to each other's opinions, even when they're totally, completely wrong, Ryan. But
that is your opinion. I accept that, and I am going to delete Hearthstone. No, I'm just joking. I really do enjoy it.
That was the third time. Watch
Shots
your face.
No. But that's the thing is that I really enjoy the time I spend with most of the games that you seriously play. Like WoW, I really do enjoy it. I just find that I really can't devote as much time as some people do. And yes, of course, we're both polite because we're from Canada. But I think that really makes the show interesting. Is that like not only are we very different gamers, but we're also understanding gamers. I think that we can see eye to eye without having to be like playing the same thing every week. Now, is it awesome when we do meet up in the middle and say, "Hey, let's play Wolf Among Us"?
Oh yeah,
that was a fantastic.
And that was this year too, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh man, that's another good one to add to the list.
That for me is the best Telltale title so far. Is Wolf Among Us. The other ones really
Okay.
haven't come close.
I would agree with you. Wolf Among Us is definitely. See, we agreed. Wolf Among Us is definitely the best Telltale game out there. Like,
Hooray!
they took Walking Dead and what made Walking Dead great, got rid of like a lot of the bad action bits and the kind of subpar story bits, and just created something awesome, And then they took all those lessons and put them in a file, never to be read again, and made Game of Thrones. And that brings us to today.
And so we have a caller now. Night Vale, you there?
I am here.
Fantastic. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a fan. So do you have questions, comments? Favorite TGI memories?
I think favorite TGI memory would be you telling us telling us all about your solo dungeon runs back when you were first doing WoW.
Okay, I'm trying to remember back that far now.
It's a long time ago.
So when I was going back and like soloing old content.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Which is something I've done a little bit of, but not very much.
Oh man, yeah, and it makes me. I've seen a whole bunch of people that are doing that now in Warlords. I guess they've gotten to level 100, whatever, and are now going back and soloing raids from Kata, and even in some cases, not necessarily raids, but soloing dungeons and things in Mists. And I'm just like, oh man, I need to go back and get that. I see all these achievements popping up, and I have the achievements turned on in guild chat, which is the spammiest spam of spam in a guild.
Wall.
Yeah, exactly. In a guild of, I think we're somewhere in and around the 7,000 people mark.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
6,000 or 7,000 now.
I think
Actual
so.
people, it's like 8,000 or 9,000 tunes.
Yes. So when you have all of those people playing and it's all popping up in our guild chat because we have an add-on that brings all the co-guilds together, it's like literally someone will say a comment and then it's like achievement, 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 comment, achievement, 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 comment. But I like it because I can click on them and be like, oh, I don't recognize that, or that's a really funny reference to, you know, some pop culture thing. And I can click on it, see what they did, and then be like, oh, I don't have that. I should go do that. And it gives me a really cool idea of what people are spending their time doing in Warcraft. It's super spammy. But there's been a lot of... Yeah, there's been a lot of people going back and doing a lot of classic content in the last, I feel like the last week or so, it's really kicked up. So I need to go and switch over and do that.
Are people already at the point where they're like, they've run out of content and they're like, well, let's go run some more content?
There's definitely people that are at that point. I'm not at that point, but some people are.
Me either. I'm still trying to get through the Grand. I'm about halfway through.
See?
And I've got, you know, there's still a lot to do. I'm slow anyway. It took me a year to get to max level, so you know.
Oh, well,
yeah, that's about how long it took me, I think, from start to finish.
Month, unfortunately, by Jocelyn.
But you're starting at 90. If you can't do 10 levels in a month, I'm kicking you from the raid team.
Well, I'm in the same boat, Ryan.
That's understandable. And you know what?
You too, Josh. You're both on notice. I want to raid, damn it.
I may have gone off the rails a little bit just to see how far I could push Jocelyn. Evidently, I came close to, I would kick you from the call if you weren't hosting it. So, job well done. But I'm really enjoying the story of Warlords of Draenor. And
wait till you get to the end.
Exactly. And it's just like Dragon Age in terms of its story. Like, I'm... you know, walling around doing side quests. It's like, oh, really? I guess I'll like close this rift or I'll kill this rabbit 10 times. And it's like, okay, great. And you don't know what game I'm describing. I could be describing either of them, except one looks a little better than the other. But the music is better in World of Warcraft. I will say that. But then you get to this big story moments, and that's when you really realize that, oh, of course there's going to be padding. It's like it's a giant open world game, and when you get to that moment in World of Warcraft or Dragon Age when there's this big story climactic clash and you're like, oh man, that's epic. I can't wait to see what the next one's going to be. So you dump another 24 hours into it and you see where it goes. And again, you don't know what game I'm describing. Yeah. It's both, actually. You know, and I'm really enjoying where I'm going to get back into WoW. I already said once I have enough free time on my hands that I can, like, all right, I've got my my coffee or my eggnog. Let's get out of the garrison. Manage it, make sure it's good to go, and then leave. Don't just log out. Go do something else.
Are you still logging into your garrison every day?
I was for a good solid couple weeks, and then I saw PayPal charge me again. I'm like, all right, I should play that game. I have a lot of fun.
Oh, man, you really, really should. I know when I hit max level, so when I hit level 100, I was questing through Nagrand, and I did, well, actually, I hit level 100 after I hit the final cinematic, but when the cinematic came up, I was in a Skype call with a couple people that I PvP with fairly consistently, and they were just talking, and I'm questing, and I'm like, oh no, I'm getting a cinematic. I'm like, guys, shut up. And then they kept talking, and then I'm watching, and then as it's like happening, I'm like, guys, no, guys, shut up, quiet, like, don't make me get out of the Skype call, shut up. And they were just like,
the alt tab.
Yeah, really. And they were just like, what's going on? I'm like, final cinematic, and they were like, oh, silence. And it was just like, I was just like, what? Like,
oh, really?
Oh, dude.
There's this moment that makes you go, what? Really? What? At the
end.
I'm being serious, guys, because this has not happened in World of Warcraft before. The story has been inconsequential.
Yeah, it's been very secondary.
It's
and
just like, it's an MMO.
Brian, the story in WoD has been amazing.
Okay. Well,
and you don't have to dungeon and you don't have to raid to get the main story, which is why I struggled so much with all the previous expansions and vanilla and everything else and everything being changed in Cataclysm and me coming after Cataclysm is like, for the longest time until I read the freaking book, I didn't even know that somebody else was head of the Tauren before Bane, like, which is crazy because it was this, huh?
Who was it?
I didn't either, to be honest.
Yeah, it was Cairn. So
Cairn.
Yeah.
Blunderhoof, Blunderbluff.
Blood.
No, that's not it.
So close.
No. Name Blunderbluff after him. That's a city, right?
Thunder Bluff?
I know. Keep going.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with Jocelyn. I've been playing for 10 years, and one of the sad parts about it is you had to raid to experience all the story, and so far in Warlords of Draenor, it doesn't feel that late or that way. So it's definitely a great change, because I felt like I missed out a lot on Mist of Pandaria until we started raiding within the guild.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, because I felt when I started raiding with Jocelyn and you, Josh, and the team, that was Mists, and that was the most Mist story I'd experienced. I'm like, man, this is actually really cool. Like, I'm like, as I'm doing these fights, and people in the Mumble channel, no one had mumps as far as I know. No one plays for the NHL. That's a Canadian joke for you Canadians out there. But seriously, the story that I was getting from the people in chat and from the game was more than I ever got in the story, and I had to blast through the story, which is what I do not want to do with Warlords of Draenor, which means I have to get my button gear, because I'm sure in February Blizzard's going to be like, guess what, guys? We ratcheted up the XP gains so you can complete the entire zone in 5 minutes. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Raids. It's like, but really?
Well, and you don't have to move on. I know, for instance, I did the Frostwolf starting area. I went all the way through. I think I was level like 94, almost 95 by the time I finished that, because I wanted to do all the quest lines. And then I did the same thing in Terracar Forest with all of the Arakoa story, which is the bird people. And it's really, really interesting. So by the time I hit Nagrand, I was pretty much, I think I was like level 98 and a half, maybe almost 99. And you're supposed to start Nagrand at like 97 or something. So I was, just don't leave the zone. I skipped a couple of zones entirely, but...
Yeah. See, I personally, this is not like an issue that everybody should have. But for me, it's like, if I'm not gaining XP or any sort of like solid reward minus like... Again, like you no matter what game you're playing, in order to experience that story, now one could like Google great quest lines in the area and only do those ones, but that might be a little spoilery. It's the same issue with Dragon Age. Like, I'm leaving large chunks of content behind because Blizzard or BioWare or whatever, they're saying, well, if you're going to play through multiple times, it's good to have large chunks of content you can't complete in your first playthrough. And I feel like, well, I could grind through it, get nothing for it besides the satisfaction of finishing it in the story. Or I could wait for a second playthrough and then get everything. The story, the satisfaction of completing it out, and also the gear and the XP.
Yeah.
So that's my issue. I'm not saying everybody has that issue, but that's what I run into when I don't mind leaving zones behind. I don't like it when... We've talked about this before, but I don't like it when Blizzard like ratchets up the XP. And I'm joking, that won't happen until this time next year probably.
I'm trying to remember when it was in Mists.
I think it was literally a year after the expansion. Like once the final raid was...
a year and a half.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Then they did more just before Warlords released, because who was it? Was Nicole was talking about the fact that she'd run through it, and it basically, she went from 85 to 90 in about a zone.
Oh, geez.
So
that's
what I did. I just ran a couple dungeons, and Bob, your uncle, you're level whatever you need to be.
That's true. Yeah, we ran around. I think you were level 87 when we started, and we ran around for one night and got you to 90.
Well, no, I was like, I think that was the... Funny enough, that was probably the one evening that Garrett was talking about where we played WoW together.
Yeah.
And to my defense, I had played WoW again, just not with Garrett.
Just not with anyone.
No, I played with Jocelyn. We raided, and hopefully Garrett will be able to join us in the new year. But anyways, I jumped in, did some quests, and by the time we were gonna get together, it's like, yeah, I'm 89, and I was questing, and Jocelyn's like, well, come over and we'll hang and we'll do some quests. And she got there, and I'm like, ding. It's like, oh, well, I'm level 90 now, guys. It's like, sweet, let's go to Timeless Isle. It's like, what's that? And then we ran around finding chests for 3 hours. It was great. So, if anyone wants to help me find chests, whatever the equivalent is in Worlds of Draenor.
Well, actually, they pretty much Timeless Isled Warlords. So there's chests and stuff all over the place, and rare mobs, and you're really encouraged to explore. And find things. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Cool.
That's something I don't like about the rare mobs in WoD is that you only get to loot them once, and each one has a specific piece that it drops.
Yes.
So you loot something, you kill the mob, and you get something you just can't use.
Yes.
Because I'm a hunter and I can't use intellect stuff. I mean, I can, but it doesn't do me any good.
Exactly. For me, it seems like everyone is dropping shields. And I'm like, okay, I don't need a shield.
I can't get a shield. I keep getting leather pants.
Oh. maybe Warlords is trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
I hear those chafe if you're not geared for that. So.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Leo's just joined the call. It sounds like he's having some mic difficulties, but
okay. I was gonna say construction. Somebody got a jackhammer next to them.
Maybe that was. But I will say that whenever we discuss Warcraft, it does trigger this, gamer emotion that I have, is what I like to call it, because it does hold a special place in my gaming heart, right? Like it's my only and first MMO. And it was the first MMO that I played with friends way back in university. We had a blast doing everything in the game, whether it was PvP, dungeons, raids, whatever. And it's strictly the game. Whenever I hear people talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I fucking love World of Warcraft. Let's play World of Warcraft.
Yes.
That's why I still subscribe to the instance. I don't play regularly, but I listen to that show as my get hype mix. Like what's that song that Barney listens to in How I Met Your Mother? Like Shot Through the Heart, like Bon Jovi. Except it's Scott Johnson and the rest of the crew.
Scott Johnson's hype mix.
Yeah. It's not Bon Jovi, but he's close.
And to each their own.
Their own. Well, I don't listen to Bon Jovi, if that helps.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to walk away from Warcraft just because I am one of those all 10-year player types. And it's definitely a game that encouraged me to write fiction stories, which I really, really enjoy.
Very cool.
Yes, so it's got a very, very personal spot in my heart. So I'm proud to be a 10-year vet. I don't like looking at how much that adds up to for $15 a month.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah. I've been on and off for 10 years, and I still don't want to calculate how much money I've put into that game.
I suppose the bad / maybe good news is I think Smite's going to be giving WoW a run for their money.
Oh.
Yeah, I've put too much money into both of them.
Wow. Smite has the same effect. Like when it comes to game night, like Joss and I will sort of deliberate on, what should we play for game night? And it's like, well, here's what the patrons have sort of talked about. Here's the games we actually own. And then like Smite, because someone always suggests Smite.
Always.
Technically going against what the patrons are suggesting. And
what you talking about?
You go back, look at every activity in there, someone has mentioned Smite. And I just think that it's a similar effect. Like Smite, again, is probably one of my first free-to-play games, my first MOBA that I've actually gotten into. And it'll always hold a special place in my gaming heart, just like Nintendo. Like it's all in there, it all fits. It's not crowded. There's always room for more, but
you're like the Grinch at the end when his heart grows.
Yeah,
and breaks the X-ray thing.
It's an ever expanding gaming heart. Plus, I don't rhyme very well, so that doesn't help. But
was there an ooh? I think did somebody have a?
Ooh. Ever expanding gaming heart just doesn't. That's no.
Oh, I thought you were like ooh, like I have a point. I want to say something.
Well, I think
you were just like ew, Ryan, get your heart out of my face.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. You don't really want
your internal organs internal, please.
Yeah, well, no, it stays. It doesn't showcase. Well, maybe if you watch Twitter, or like it's like, Ryan, your gaming heart is showing because I can see that you're talking about Super Smash Brothers again. See, this is really weird. Let's move on. But I don't know. I think Smite is a really great game. I think WoW is a really great game. Warlords of Draenor is. I have a feeling there's going to be a conversation as to whether you can name an expansion a game of the year. I think you can. There's no
I think
problem
you
with
can
that.
for this
I
one.
think in this day and age, I think you can because
I don't think there's
a
ever
lot of
been an
it's
argument that you couldn't. I mean, if you're trying to argue that the Dark Below for Destiny is your game of the year, we got another thing coming. But that's not an expansion. That's DLC. There's a difference. But I think Warlords of Draenor is a complete game. If it came out on its own as a new MMO, you could make the argument that like that's a full game.
I think
Uh,
if people are allowed to call the game that we cannot mention a mobile game, then we should be allowed to call an expansion a standalone.
I mean, if I always found that game companies like to segment game categories in order to give games that deserve a Game of the Year award but can't compete against AAA titles. Like when you compare, let's say, Dragon Age to Hearthstone to Shadows of Mordor, and you say which one's the game of the year, it becomes a really tough conversation. But it becomes really easy when you're like, okay, if we move Hearthstone over to mobile game of the year, then we don't even have to have the conversation as to whether we can compare it to Shadow of Mordor or
Dragon Age.
You know?
right. And then you have the other issue of Hearthstone hasn't been out, well, has been out longer than a year. In the
Well,
sense
it was in beta, and not everybody had
Yeah.
access.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone,
I
it wasn't
would
an open beta until this year, and then it actually
Yeah.
launched in April.
So are we saying that like is it a technicality like if Jocelyn says like game of the year is Hearthstone like that would not be a problem, that'd be fine.
No, I think what I mean is like a game like Warcraft, like WoW is sure you can call Warlords the game of the year in and of itself because it is that good, but I think you look at the whole WoW thing, and that's been going on for so long, and Hearthstone will be the same way. It's been going on so long that no matter what they do with the next expansion, it may not, people may look at it and go, well, that can't be game of the year. It's been out for forever.
Well, and I think that might be a perception thing because some people might say, well, Heroes of the Storm can't be your game of the year because it's been out for 2 years by the time it gets actually released. But that's not the case. It's the full main release. I mean, but when you look at Hearthstone and then you look at Warlords of Draenor, like, I think somebody who's been playing those two games a hell of a lot and really freaking enjoys them has a really tough decision to make in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we've talked about that before too, in terms of kind of bias towards titles that come out at the end of the year. Like, Hearthstone has been out since April, and it feels like, especially because they had an open beta before that, it feels like it wasn't even released this year. And there's definitely that bias towards the stuff that gets released in, November and December, as well as the fact that that's usually the release date of all these really big AAA titles because they want to get in right before Black Friday and Christmas. So I do think there's a bias towards later releases, but I mean, it's hard to discount stuff like Hearthstone that's so huge and such a time and money sink for so many people. It's kick-ass fun, and it has 20 million people playing. Like, how can you not consider that for full-on game of the year? Like, what other game can boast 20 million people playing?
Yeah, and I don't.
Well,
I
other
don't
than
think...
League, we're not talking about League.
I was about to say, well, technically.
I think.
Well,
we do it a disservice.
Actually.
Oh no.
Nerd.
I think we do.
I don't have my glasses anymore. I can't do that.
I think Hearthstone, we do it a disservice by solely using the argument of numbers on its side. I think it stands alone for somebody's game of the year choice because it is solid, really well made game that has been well supported this year. Better than, I mean, look at Destiny, a $500 million game has had very, 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 very subpar support when you compare it to what Hearthstone's seen. Hearthstone launched as a solid product and has been seeing epic content through single player content and what was it, 200-300 cards,
No, the first time we had about 400 cards, and now we just got another 120 with Goblins versus Gnomes.
Yeah, so I think saying like it's 20 million players, like that's a solid number, but I think it stands alone on its merits of just being a hell of a game.
Well, and I think the other thing that's so great about Hearthstone is how small the team is and how much they interact with the community. Like, you can talk to, Yang Wu, who's the producer. You can talk to Ben Brode, who is the senior game designer. Like, you have actual access through, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, to these people. And like, I mean, when Goblins vs. Gnomes, when all those cards got announced, Ben Brode spent like, I don't even know, probably 16 hours on Twitter, like answering every single mention. I was just like, dude, you're making my eyes bleed just trying to keep up with this feed right now. Like,
Right.
How are you doing this? So
Yeah.
there's just that whole other level of access that you don't really get with any other, AAA titles, I guess we'll call them. But,
You're right. Like
Hearthstone is just so great on so many levels.
Yeah. No, and it's another one of those.
Not that I'm giving away my pick for Game of the Year, by the way.
No, we're just
You'll
having
still
a
have to tune in 2 weeks from now because you never know. I could
You
go
never know.
crazy.
She could blast through Shadow of Mordor, which is a fantastic game, I hear, and I can't wait to give it a shot. But again, that just goes back to the main reason we started Gamers In. It's an opportunity for Jocelyn and I to talk about the games that we're enjoying. Simple as that. And if it happens to be Hearthstone, happens to be World of Warcraft, happens to be some Nintendo title, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. I just like saying that.
I know you do. You bring it up every week, and I think it's just because you're trying to see how fast you can possibly say it.
I know.
Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Which is a fantastic game, but it doesn't. It doesn't matter whether it's AAA or it's hot right now or it's some little indie title that no one's heard about, but just is a lot of fun and you specifically enjoy it. And I'm sure like the people we have on this call right now, like Night Vale, like what are you playing right now besides WoW that is not like super out there? Like there's got to be some game that you're playing. Like I described Papers, Please, which is just on paper sounds terrible.
Honestly, I've been playing WoW and I've been playing The Sims 4. It's the only other game I've had time to play in the last month.
Really?
Oh, how's Sims 4?
It's not bad. It's not great.
Okay, good. Because when you said you'd been playing it, I was like, well, wait, really? Because I played that for like 2 days and then went, screw this, because they took away all the features. I was like, oh my God, he's still playing
Well,
that?
they brought some of them back. You have swimming pools now.
What?
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. Like swimming pools were like not even just Sims 3. Like swimming pools have been in The Sims since The Sims became a
Sims
thing.
1.
Exactly.
Yeah, since 2000.
Wow. And that's the reason you stopped playing?
Well, yes, I couldn't drown my Sims in the swimming pool anymore. So I was like, how am I supposed to make a graveyard if I can't drown my Sims?
What? Everybody knows you kill your Sims by locking them in the bathroom and taking the toilet out. Come on.
And then they
Jeez.
piss themselves today.
Hey, you guys are doing it the hard way. You have to put the toilet in there in order for the tutorial to complete. You just brain dead. It's simple.
Torture dungeon over
The
here.
problem I have.
Oh, I have the best Sim story. I think I've told it before.
You have,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell
No, I'm not gonna tell it.
it.
You'll have to go dig, try to
No,
find
well,
it.
I think it's basically it boils down to my brother and I, my youngest brother and I were playing on the same computer and we'd like swap out. And I think like I killed him in an oven fire and then seduced his wife. And he's like, I'm never playing video games with you again. He has he's lived up to that sentiment years later. So yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
The problem that I have with The Sims 4 is a problem that I kind of had with The Sims 3. I like to build lots. I like to build the houses. That's a lot of what I do in the game. And with The Sims and The Sims 2, you had a lot of freedom to put your lot where you wanted it, turn it the way you wanted it to be, build it up as big as you wanted it, or as expansive as you wanted it. And in The Sims 3, they kind of limited the way that you could lay the lots down. You had specific places you could put them. And now in this game, you're limited to, I think, in either of the two places that you can play in, the two worlds you can play in, I think you have 2 or 3 spaces you can put them in, and neither of them are very large.
Mhm.
So they've limited your ability to actually build what you want to build unless you destroy one of the houses that are already there, which have Sims in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they've taken away a fair chunk of the kind of gameplay that I like in the game.
The creative side of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did notice that when I was playing Sims 4, that my house could not get very big. It was a little sad. I feel like I had to take over the goth household
Right.
in order
Exactly.
to get a lot that's big enough for me to actually say, what can I create? Or even install a swimming pool. That's why they took them out.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of space in the smaller houses and the smaller lots. Once you lay a decent sized house down, you don't have a lot of yard space left over.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to build up.
Yeah.
So I think we have Leo, do we have you now? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm not sure how good my mic is at the moment. I turned it down quite a bit.
Oh,
You
your
sound
mic
great.
sounds perfect. Yeah.
Much better.
No more
Awesome.
jackhammers.
Well, that was on my laptop.
Perfect.
So how you
So
doing, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Kind of been playing a little bit of WoW, a little bit of Destiny, stuff like that.
Uh-oh. I was just talking Destiny before.
I know. I kept my mouth quiet.
No, but this is good because
Yeah,
so
no,
Leo,
yeah.
you're still playing Destiny. So what is it about Destiny that has kept you in, that has,
Well,
brought you back or
I actually got into Destiny a little bit late, to be completely honest. I bought PS4 and Destiny because I could actually play with my cousin.
Oh. I think I've actually is Destiny the one that has like the white PlayStation bundle?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's actually the bundle I got.
I keep looking at that going, ooh, that white, that's kind of sharp. I like that.
It is. It is actually, and it's
I think
actually the first. I've actually now that I have a PS4, I have a what is it? Blu-ray disc.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so
I've never had
excited.
those
I think
before.
I might get wooed by a console this Boxing Day. We'll have to see.
I think.
Xbox
Oh, jeez. You actually got the trifecta going here. You got the Wii U, you got the PS4, you got the Xbox
I
One.
know.
I have
I
Wii U as well.
Oh, see, yeah, Leo knows that.
And
Smart.
it's so funny because I'm slowly but surely getting swayed towards the Wii U just because of all the games that are being offered now. So for so long, the Wii U, I was just like, no, this is dumb. Like, there's nothing to play. It's got a stupid freaking tablet, but it's this thick. So,
I thought that too when I first saw it, but the tablet's not that bad. Maybe it's because I
Yes.
have big hands.
Here comes the
no,
knowledge.
okay. And you know what? I like big controllers because I have massive hands as well. That's why I always liked the Xbox versus the PlayStation controller because my fingers are just so long
The Duke.
that it just felt so weird playing on the PlayStation controller because the buttons weren't where they were supposed to be.
The loaf of bread with 2 thumbsticks. Speaking of iron bread. No,
That game.
That game, right?
I just posted a
Game of
video
the year.
of James and I playing split screen, and there's some fantastic moments that I gotta say in the first in that 45-minute video of Iron Bread. You'd think being bread would be boring, but that game makes it quite interesting.
Well, I
never
think
played the
that game plus an Englishman.
Yeah, James certainly brings the best out of anything when he speaks the British talk. He was talking about pans or something. I can't remember. There was a specific thing he said, but no, that game's a lot of fun. But no, I think
Fun?
if you're looking at
Really?
what Iron Bread.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot.
I watched what's his name, Markiplier there on YouTube play it. He just lost his mind.
It's very easy to lose your mind in that game.
I had fun watching Ryan and James.
Yeah, because at one point, I can't remember if it was James or if it was Ryan saying, okay, we've now been playing as Bread for a full hour. And I'm like, I've been watching you play as Bread for a full hour. I don't know what's
Oh dear
worse.
God.
Yeah, I just posted in the chat if people want to check it out. It's an interesting game, early access, but I want to go back to Destiny because I don't think I took the cheap shot there with the DLC, and I think I have the same issue with Destiny that I have with most MMOs, where I enjoy the gameplay, I enjoy the story that I'm getting, I enjoy the progression, at least in the leveling sense. I don't enjoy grinding in video games. I just don't. But
I don't know. It depends on the grinding for me completely.
Mhm.
Like I can play World of Warcraft, which has a little bit of grinding in it, especially when it comes to me and my bloody luck. I've played Monster Hunter, which is all grinding pretty much for like gear, weapons. Sometimes you have like a 2% chance to get something, and you just have that one time. Oh God.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing with Destiny. Like, are you enjoying the combat, and that's what keeps you coming back? Like, have you purchased the DLC?
Yes, I do have the DLC actually,
Okay.
because unfortunately there is a bunch of, if you don't have some of the DLC, some of the content might be locked out for you.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I think the game could be really good, but I think Bungie might be going about this a little bit wrong
hmm.
in some bits and pieces.
Hmm. The game is beautiful. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
it is.
looking for a game to show off your PS4 or your Xbox One, Destiny is a fantastic pick. The only other thing you might want to look at is maybe the Second Son on PS4. That game looks
I heard
fantastic.
that game looks really beautiful with like all
It's
the
very
lighting effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very good looking. But with Destiny, I find that it just doesn't. The unfortunate thing is Bungie kind of put themselves into this hole where it's like we're gonna make AAA story based linear campaign type content, and then there's going to be a separate multiplayer aspect. And then what they did with Destiny is like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make World of Warcraft with a tenth
Oh
of the
God,
story.
don't even put that in there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing
The
is that
amount of story that's in the actual game though, there's a bunch of holes in the
yes.
story.
Yeah. Destiny 2 is going to be fantastic. There's going to be like 6 books leading up to it that explains everything that we need to know. And yeah, Destiny 2, I'm telling you right now, is going to be amazing. But Destiny is kind of like a proof of concept that's going to cost you $120, you know?
Ugh.
But don't get me wrong, you can have fun with it. And I have had fun with it. And I might go back to it during my great
Yeah.
holiday gaming session if I can somehow maybe like AFK and walk into a wall in World of Warcraft and convince Jocelyn, no, I'm leveling. I'm in there right now. You just have like little
Yeah.
Oh.
birds. It
I
comes
got
down like this typing. You know,
my PC and my PS4 are in the
just
same room, so it's like it's staring at me.
see, you can fake level and play Destiny at the same time. See,
I don't need to fake leveling. I was level 100 there like second day in.
well,
I'm
Leo,
crazy.
you don't need to rub it in.
I'm I'm crazy.
Well, you're not crazy. You're just better at games than I am. I guess.
No, trust me. I blame my cousin, the same
Mhm.
one that I got Destiny for.
Yeah,
He's the one that got me into World of Warcraft.
So I'm thinking you're just using him as a scapegoat.
No, no, he is. I have known him since duh, of course I've known him. But he's the one that got me into Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft, Destiny, Borderlands. Oh my God, I hate him for that.
um,
I spent way too much time on Borderlands.
yeah, well, I've spent way too much money and not enough time on Borderlands.
I was gonna say, which
Speaking of-
Borderlands is it that's
Speaking
pulling
of
you in?
time, congratulations on 3 years, by the way.
Yes,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when did you? I can't remember, Leo. When did you start listening to the show?
I have no idea.
You guys, aren't you?
I think it was year 1.
I was gonna
maybe.
say, I definitely remember Leo in our very first Extra Life. So that would have
I'm not
been.
gonna say the word.
Oh, what? GIS Gamers Down? Don't worry,
Hey,
she's going to
said it.
listen to it.
That is probably my favorite like meme that has come out of Gamers In is GIS Gamers Down. Like it hasn't died. Every time we stream, it comes up somehow, and I'm just like, yeah, well,
I stopped bringing it up.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It was one time, to Jocelyn's defense, it was one time we hadn't played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer in months. She had forgotten to level up her character, so we were all level 20. The game had scaled to that level.
Oh my
And,
God.
she
And I
kept-
had no talents and no skills.
Yeah, she had plenty of talent, just her character didn't have any, like, powers or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
So she kept
No
dying.
health, no shields.
Yeah, GIS Gamers Down. GIS Gamers
It
Down.
was like literally I would just respawn and I'd get like one shot by like the little
One shot right in the head.
grunts. Yeah.
It's in the great highlight video that you put together, Jocelyn, for Extra Life 2012. It's out there and easy to find, so you guys should definitely watch it. There's no highlight video for 2013 or 2014. You're just gonna have to comb through like the 12
I
hours.
know. And okay, if you guys like the highlight video, this is the perfect time to tell you should send me suggestions, because when we do a 24-hour stream, there are so many things that happen that I can look back and be like, okay, I know something really funny happened. I remember this cool moment, but I can't quite pinpoint it. So if you guys have moments that you want like highlighted, whatever your highlight was of the 2013 or 2014 Extra Life streams, I have no problem putting it together. I just don't want to sift through 24 hours of material. So if you can remember and you can say,
that's
oh,
a
I
lot
loved,
of work.
yeah, even if you say Cards Against Humanity, I can be like, okay, that narrows it down to 2 hours. I can pull from that, but
The entire time we played.
that wouldn't be much of a highlight.
You know,
I need to get myself a copy of that.
Yeah. We have so much fun doing Extra Life, and only once a year though. I don't know if I could do. It's funny, like sometimes we do accidentally stay up for longer than 24 hours, but we don't normally play games for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unless it's Extra Life.
For me, I find, although I absolutely love doing Extra Life, it's really, really great. It's for a fantastic cause. Gaming and being on all the time is really, really, really difficult. If I was just sitting on my couch and eating pizza and drinking beer, I could probably just marathon Mass Effect, and 24 hours would be a cakewalk.
Oh yeah.
But
learning the politics of the Citadel.
Okay, maybe Mass Effect is a bad idea. Even if I was just sitting here
not that I just can't stay up for 24 hours. I don't think caffeine does not work on me.
Oh, I see. But yeah, even just like sitting here, even playing Smite, I have proven time and time again that I just cannot sleep when there's Smite happening. So I think I could definitely do that. But being on camera, on point, on stream for 24 hours is exhausting. And I'm sure my neighbors hate it every single year when I do Extra Life, because it's just like full-blown, full-volume Jocelyn for 24 hours. It's like, I hope you don't have children.
Ashley literally leaves the house.
See?
Like Ashley's gone. Zoe left this year. Like my own dog wouldn't even stay. Although that would have probably been more annoying.
That would have been very annoying. Very annoying.
Zoe's great, but sometimes she needs attention, and she'll sleep for, I swear, 12 hours out of the day. But that's just.
I feel your pain, man.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
Dogs, am I right? So is there anything else that you guys want to hear? Siri, screw off. Is there anything else you guys want to say, or is there somebody in the chat room who wants to jump in?
I was gonna say, yeah, we should probably cycle people through here. I think there were a couple of people saying that they wanted to jump in.
I think Jimmy the Shovel. Jimmy, no. Call in, Jimmy.
No, Jimmy, no. But we mean yes, Jimmy, yes.
Oh, Jimmy the Shovel. Another new listener, I think, that came through the TAC train.
Everybody on the TAC train. Woo, woo.
Dear God, I still can't believe it's been 3 years.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we started talking like October, before Skyward Sword came out.
I remember that episode.
Yeah. We all do, especially Nintendo.
Yep.
I see the issues that Skyward Sword had, but I really did enjoy that game, mainly because I knew I wasn't going to get another Zelda game for 3 or 4 years, so you kind of have to take them when you get them.
I will say that's the good thing about Nintendo. When they do come, for a while there, they were the only companies that weren't doing patches for video games.
There was that Save Corrupt, right?
Oh, for what was it? For Pokemon, was it?
No, for Skyward Sword.
There was?
Yeah, my friend texted me. He's like, dude, there's a point where Nintendo
I did not hear about that.
Allows you to choose one of 3 dungeons. Don't choose the second one first. And it was like, if you did, it corrupted your save, and you had to send an SD card to Nintendo, and they would patch it and then send it back to you. It was pretty awful. Luckily, it never happened to me, but yeah, it's that game has its flaws, and I'm glad Nintendo's kind of looked at it and said, okay, let's not do another one of those. Let's give them the game worth.
Maybe we should probably start doing a little bit of patching here and there. Because, as I said, for a while there, they were not doing patching and stuff like that through their consoles, like every other company did through DLC and stuff like that. They had a game finished day one that was released. You gotta give him credit for that.
Ryan and I are both typing the same
Yeah,
thing
sorry.
into chat at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's synergy. That's how you know it's been 3 years. We can read
Exactly.
each other's
We're
minds.
like the same.
Yeah,
With the
we-
eggnog.
eggnog.
Huh?
Except I swear, I'm just goofy for the weekend. This
Run
month's of
away.
eggnog.
Uh-huh. We
Yeah.
believe you.
I haven't. I don't have. This
Mine
I
had
haven't
rum.
tried
I'm gonna be fully, completely open about
Yeah,
that.
but
There
you
is
admitted
rum
that
in
to
my
yourself.
eggnog.
Ooh, what kind?
Appletons, I think. I don't normally drink rum, so I just went, this looks good.
Ooh.
The label says alcohol.
Yeah.
That's good.
rum.
This says
what
rum
I look
and there's
for
a
in my rum.
percentage, so it's wet. That's all I need.
I could go for some of that right about now.
Oh,
I could
it's so
actually
good.
go for some rum. That sounds.
It's
delicious.
almost done. I'm so sad. I need to go refill soon.
Gotta get
I'm
more
tired
rum.
of judging
Sangria. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Blood wine.
Blood wine. I don't have any fancy drinks. I have beer in the fridge, and that's it. Maybe a couple
I'll
of.
just have tea.
Yeah, tea's good too. Tea's good too. Well, what was I gonna say before we started talking about accusing me of having something in my eggnog? Yeah,
Because we all have something in our eggnog.
y'all, eggnog. It took me forever to find eggnog. It was sold out at a bunch of places. Like usually they have like
Oh.
fridges full of it at the store, but I eventually did track it down, or my wife did. But yeah, Skyward Sword was an interesting title. That was one of the first games we talked about on the Gamers Inn. Skyrim was a big one. I think that was the first
Skyrim
game.
was huge.
Yeah, that we,
Oh my god, I remember. I remember when Jocelyn picked that up.
yeah.
Oh man, so I still have 4 outstanding achievements from the very first Skyrim because something was bugged with one of them. It was one of the oh shit, what are they called? The evil guys.
Oh,
Demons?
Dark Brotherhood.
No, not the Dark Brotherhood,
That's the only one. I
but
know.
like the Daedric princes, god
yeah.
people. You know
Oh.
how you have to get all 9 of the items? One of my items is bugged, so I don't have that, or one of my quests was bugged. It's probably patched now, actually. I should go back
I
and
never
check.
did that. I kind of just fooled around in that game, did whatever I did. If I got achievements for it, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did the critical path in Skyrim, kind of like I
I
did
did
what I thought was
everything.
interesting for my character. Like I did the Thieves Guild. I did. I think I did the
Dark
Bard.
Brotherhood.
No, I didn't do the Dark Brotherhood because my character was quote unquote good. But
You could assassin.
well, I was.
You
I
can
was
be a good
already-
assassin.
Kill the assholes in the world.
well, I
Yeah,
was
there
already
you go.
good. I was a Thieves Guild. I was like Robin Hood. I even had the goatee. I don't know what it is. I can't grow facial hair in real life, so every time I create a character, I give him facial hair. I'm like, I want facial hair. Like my Inquisitor, badass goatee. I stand by my remarks that Dragon Age has a much better story than Skyrim. Except Skyrim had more dragons, although the dragons in Dragon Age Inquisition feel more alive.
Those
You
things
know?
are a beast.
Yeah, and the way
Yeah.
don't even
ran
know
into the
you.
little-
you do so, you just haven't played this game. If you play it, you might actually agree with me.
No, never.
Well,
Skyrim for life.
Ryan,
I-
is it
I'm
that
on-
the
There's the old Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Hashtag worth.
I stand by my belief that this 3-year-old game is the best ever and nothing can beat it. And I'm not going to try it because that would prove me wrong.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
It's fantastic. You got to
Whoa.
I'm
fighting
gonna
words
have to
right there.
step back from the microphone because I think there's gonna be blood on the walls here.
I'm just kidding.
Ryan, after this, run.
Well, actually, that is unfortunate. Weren't we going to meet up next week?
I know where you live, and I will be in Toronto in less than a
That's
week.
true. That's true. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, like Dragon Age, it does build upon. Obviously, it's a new game. It's got years on Skyrim. When the next Elder Scrolls comes out, it's probably gonna
Being online.
put. Well, no,
yeah,
not
exactly.
that one.
ESO
Not-
was fine, okay?
Not the
Re-
ESO.
I burned my. I got into
Hanging
the,
up and ending the stream.
beta there,
I'm with
and
you on Jocelyn.
I don't
Yes, sir.
know. I kind of burned myself out on it during the beta.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I specifically did not play a whole lot during beta.
I don't think I played any
I
ESO
might still
except
be-
for the early
you-
beta.
I think I'm still paying for both ESO and WildStar because every month I get like an email that says you have an automatic payment to Carbine or whatever, and I'm just like, God damn it!
Oh,
Cancel
man.
those.
I think I might have canceled ESO, but every month I just get the reminder like, oh yeah, you were playing WildStar, but not anymore.
Oh, it's
I
too
never
bad they
picked
don't
up that
give you
one.
like a couple days notice. Like, hey, we're about to charge you, so if
There's
you need-
probably a reason for that. I am the textbook case for why they don't give you a little
So you
notification.
WildStar is still running. Oh, okay. All the people who have forgotten to cancel their subscriptions. I didn't play much of WildStar either. I think I played a bit of the beta and just again, I don't know. It just
I
didn't
played
hit.
WildStar for about 6 weeks, and it got to the point where there was nobody to group with anymore because everybody had either gotten to max level or they'd quit. So you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I was
No, so
because
you-
they really did emphasize group content, didn't they?
Yeah,
Like-
they did.
Yeah.
Sounds like my guild back in World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria.
Are you not an AIE person?
No, I think wait. What server are they on again?
Earthen Ring.
We are on Earthen Ring.
I think I have a character on that server. I just don't think I have played it in such a long time.
Ah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the dungeons and the raids in Miss Pandaria. They're a lot of fun. I can't wait to start raiding Warlords of Draenor.
I will say the raiding in Warlords of Draenor has been quite a bit more enjoyable than some of the past raids.
Oh, that's good. I can't
I-
wait.
You know what's
Yeah.
entertaining?
What?
I grinded Molten Core back when it was vanilla, and I love watching all these new players jump in there and be like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "You're gonna die. Just watch." It's fun.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna die. You are screwed. Your blood is gonna be all over in the lava. Oh my god, I
That's
remember that. I was. Oh my god,
Old school.
Yeah, I think-
brought
I
back
was
before.
13 when that came out,
Wow.
Yeah, that
or around then.
That would have been high school for me. Again, like that's the thing. When a game's around for 10 years, there are people who started playing it at sort of the peak age, like the start of when they start like expanding their gaming horizons and trying out these new experiences. And now, like 10 years later, they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, and like they're still playing this game and still enjoying it and able to look back at some of that content with fondness. Like obviously, there's the outliers who are kind of like assholes who just like, oh, the old days were
Most
so
of my
good,
server.
you know. Yeah, and they can't
Back in my
play now because it's
days.
too easy, you know, it's too different. But I think that I think WoW, the best thing about WoW is that over the course of 10 years, Blizzard's been really good to adapt the game, not to worry about the niche players who are just stuck with that. Like we all talk about Molten Core as if it's this experience that was just terrible. But
It's
there's some
something to
people-
remember.
Yeah. Some people look back with that with fondness and like, oh, that's why I quit because there's no Molten Core 2. It's like you're crazy. What you're playing now is way better than Molten Core 2 ever would have been. You know?
I miss my old guild.
I
Yeah.
don't.
So is your old guild like still playing?
No, they disbanded like just after Burning Crusade came out, and I still remember a lot of their names.
Yeah. Well, those are like relationships that you form. Like there are people that I played with when I started that I still like. I didn't meet them in WoW, but I still remember playing with them.
Everything's different. We had DKP back then.
Oh yeah, there was a song
Little
about DKP. That's
DKP.
all I remember. I never
What
read
is-
it. I
what
Back
is-
then, there was three people on my account that did raids. Me, my brother, and my cousin.
Hey, all on the same account?
Well, we lived pretty much together there for a while.
I think it's terms of service.
Technically.
I was a newfie. We lived very close to my cousin's place.
True. Actually, I don't know. I shouldn't say true, but no, you know, WoW's an excellent game, and I am one of those people who likes pretty much all types of games. It's actually a fault for that. You know, like I really enjoy all kinds of games, but I really enjoy new experiences. which
Yeah.
that sort of like explains why I would make such a drastic comment about Skyrim and Dragon Age, because like in my mind, because it's newer, it's got that extra time, that extra polish. But I find I can't apply that to MMOs. Like talking about WildStar and ESO, like I jump in and it's like it's not WoW, and I can't, so I won't play it. Maybe I
Yeah,
have that
that's the
same issue with
unfortunate
mobile.
part. I mean, because of the fact that they're so massive, like they can't put in like all the graphics and textures and stuff like that that most other games can. Because imagine if we had like the graphics and textures of Destiny
Mhm.
in something like World of Warcraft. Could you imagine the computer that you would need to run that?
Yeah.
My
But-
Skyrim dragon just ate your face.
Which?
Good.
Oh yeah, you got your giant dragon.
I did. I got it down from my shelf and then it ate your face.
Look, to give Skyrim credit, without
Skyrim's great. I
Skyrim-
was not throwing
Yeah.
Skyrim under the bus. Like, it's a terrible game now that Dragon Age is out. It's
Yeah.
the worst, and Jocelyn, you're an awful person for enjoying it. I didn't say that. Anyone who took it that way probably has never listened to this show.
You should just download add-ons that like update the graphical engine and stuff. Everyone loves Skyrim.
I love Skyrim too, but what I'm saying
I think
is
here's
like,
the best way to put it. Every game has their perks.
yes, exactly. And when a game comes out 3 years later, the perks are usually like, well, you've had 3 years of extra technology, extra, game design, and a lot of lessons. Like Dragon Age 2 was not that great a game in comparison to the series. It was a solid game, but when you
No, it
put
wasn't.
it with Dragon, I enjoyed it.
I did
was-
enjoy
it
it
was
the
a-
first time I played it, except for that dragon.
Right, there was one dragon that was awful. Skyrim's dragon definitely beats Dragon Age 2's dragon. I gotta say that, but
I can beat those things with a dagger. Of course, I'm gonna like it.
But I think like there's a specific moment in Dragon Age, and this isn't a spoiler, where you're in the hinterlands and you kind of skirt your way into a ravine a little too early, and you bring your group out of this like crevice and into this open plains.
You
And
found him too, didn't you?
yes, I died. Everybody died, and what you hear is this roar off in the distance, and suddenly you see this
And then you're
giant
screwed.
dragon. Yeah, this dragon just comes into your screen. You look up, it's like, oh my god, it's huge. And one of your characters comments about it. It's like, oh, there she goes, and the dragon kind of like, she gives zero shits about what she's doing because she's flying away. She like runs into this giant rock in the middle of the crevice. It starts to crumble down, and pieces are falling off of it. And the dragon's like, what? That didn't hurt. It's just a giant rock. It's not going to hurt me. And then flies away. And you're like, oh, it was just a cinematic. Then you start walking. Then you start killing her babies. And then she comes back and starts like shooting fire at you. Like that doesn't happen in Skyrim. It's not as dynamic. And when the dragons come down and they're kind of like, again, it's just old technology, right? It's those animations. They're not quite as fluid. Again, if you play Dragon Age, Johnson, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. Plus, multiplayer with Derek. It's going to be fantastic.
Without
I think
Skyrim.
she should probably give it a shot at least.
Oh, she will.
I will. I'm gonna
we're just
get
playing
it.
hard
I
to
just-
get. This is
yeah.
what we do. Like, I'll spend a year.
I
trying
just
to
can't
convince her to
concede
get
a
with you.
point to him.
Oh yeah. He points to you all the time. I'm rating in World
If
of
it
Warcraft.
helps, I still play both. I still play both a little bit of Skyrim, a little bit of Dragon Age. I have not beaten Dragon Age all that much yet because I don't know what it is. I just haven't really gotten into it all that much yet.
Yeah. No, there's exactly. Leo's right. There's no reason why you can't go back, grind out those 4 extra achievements, still get a bunch of awesome things in WoW, and play Dragon Age. But you're right. Like if there's been a theme to the Gamers Inn, like it's not often that we'll concede points to each other. We do like to debate, but friendly debates. Eventually you will. I did convince you to buy a 3DS. That
True.
kind of went over well with Link Between Worlds, but I think like you, I'm not playing my 3DS.
No, I never play it anymore, and I feel so bad. And I spent money on Mario Golf, and I spent money on
That was my
something else. There was like 2 or 3 games that I bought there, and I just
Pokemon.
never really played. Pokemon, I played that.
same time
last
in the same
Christmas.
room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have played probably as much as you have, and I'm right there with you. It's like I enjoy Pokemon from when I was a kid, but I don't know if I'm gonna play this game. So.
Actually, funny thing is that we brought up Pokemon. Last year for Christmas, I actually found my old Pokemon Blue version.
Oh, you were a Pokemon Blue guy too? I had Pokemon Blue. Fantastic. Fantastic. We actually have, I forgot to introduce, we actually have somebody who had jumped into the call, Niblet Man. And that's this.
Oh, I saw him in the chat.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
in here. Yeah.
He's been listening. And it's like, I should have introduced him because
I'm just very quiet.
he jumped into the call a while ago. Niblet Man, how's it going?
No, it's good. Good.
You're new. You're new to the Gamers Inn, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, no, I just started listening like a week or so ago.
Oh, wow.
Something like that, yeah.
Nice.
Well, welcome.
One of us. One of
No,
us.
but
This dragon is
Yeah,
actually
no,
really
I'm-
pointy. I need to take it off,
And-
guys.
and currently in the middle of playing Smite, so hey.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
good.
You'll be able to join us for
Another
some
one
Smite.
converted.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is like
Yeah.
game 3, I think. So, yeah.
What's
Way to
your
go.
favorite hero so far?
I've just been playing, and what's his name? Chinese guy, big spear.
Chinese
Guan Yu.
Guan Yu, yeah.
Yeah, Guan Yu.
Well, as long as it might, well, what's the free hero? Ribbit is what we call her. Very,
Neith.
Yes.
yeah, Neith. We gone back to Neith. It's less inappropriate probably.
I have not actually gotten into that game all that much yet.
Oh, we're addicted.
I see that. I see your.
Addicted is a
every single time
strong-
when my mail comes up, I can always see Gamers In or A Move is playing Smite.
I know. I went to go set
Or
up the
Jocelyn.
stream. Yeah, I went to go set up the stream last night, and I was like, "Oh, I should make sure that it says I'm playing." I don't even need to check, do I? Nope.
Of course, since we're playing Smite. You crazy? And Josh, you try to chime in saying "addicted's a strong word." I don't think it's a strong word. It's an apt word if you see the bills that I've been getting lately.
Oh yeah, Jim in the chat room is saying soon we'll be able to do full 5v5 TGI games. Yes, please,
Actually,
can
yeah.
we do that?
Oh God.
We should
That
set
would
that
be
up.
awesome.
You know
We'll
what?
have to put Ryan on one team and me on another team, and then we won't kill
Oh,
each
my
other.
Justin's team.
That's what we need.
No, I
Just
mean, because then
separate,
you can stream
Jim
your
and I.
team's view, and I can stream
Yeah.
my team's view. It's tactical.
Just
Plus,
more
then I don't have to
fire-
play with you.
I call Josh.
Oh.
Hey.
Damn it! I was gonna shotgun Josh.
Oh,
I get Ram then.
Okay. She has all the voice
got Jimmy.
acts, so I guess that's.
Oh yeah, you can take no Jimmy no.
I like Jimmy. Jimmy can be on my team.
what's
I
gonna
like
happen
Jimmy
is we're
too.
gonna 5v5, and Jimmy and Jocelyn are just gonna dive in on each other. It's gonna turn on a 1v1.
See, I don't like confrontation. I don't like splitting.
I
The
have-
stuff.
Oh my God, Valk
This
wants to
so is
play.
kind of-
I call Valk.
Sure. Yeah, he's the PvP guy. too.
Yes, he's my PvP. He's my 2v2 arena partner in WoW.
Stacking your team.
I am stacking my team.
Valk
You know it.
Them. And you were pissed when I shotgun Josh. I say we do a random draw.
Hey, we could do 3v3. Settle this once and for all.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jimmy,
How
I
about this,
didn't mean
Miri?
it. I didn't mean it.
We're not being serious. Except for the Ryan versus Jocelyn thing. Of course, Jocelyn's being very serious when she says that.
Completely. I will kick your ass in everything that we do.
Oh,
Burn
That's-
Ryan to the
I-
ground.
See, I'm not as competitive as Jocelyn is.
I know. I get way too competitive.
Just so she doesn't eat
Yep.
eat my head off with her dragon. And that's like she's got a huge. That's just a figurine of her actual dragon she owns.
It's for real.
Yeah, it's not to scale. I'll tell you that. Like the real dragon she has in the basement is just, it's like Daenerys.
Ryan,
stuff.
you're not supposed to tell anybody about my basement.
right. Fake.
Everyone thinks I live in an apartment.
Well, you do. Apartments have basements, do they not?
Oh.
I don't know.
Uh,
Not
I guess
really.
if you're at the bottom.
You have that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't have a basement. Don't
No.
go looking for my dragon.
Okay. Anyway.
sounds so
Nope.
wrong.
I
know.
know. I'm just like, why is everyone thinking this is so dirty? It's not dirty. We're talking about a basement in an apartment building and a
Well,
dragon.
Have you
I'm
listened
sorry.
to our Smite games?
That's true.
Yeah, this is the cleanest we've ever been if you've listened to our Smite games. Some of that stuff I don't think we can even repeat on.
No,
here.
I don't think we should.
Wow,
Nope,
what have I?
nope,
Wow, what have I
nope.
been missing?
You've obviously been missing Gamers in Game Night every Thursday
Yeah.
at 8 p.m. Eastern.
I think the last time I joined you guys for Gamers in Game Night was, what was it? Diablo 3?
Oh yeah, that would have been back in like April, May.
But see, that's the thing is we've always got that game on tap. It's just it's never been this game one game for such a solid period of time. You know, prior to this, I'd say maybe Mass Effect 3 was our go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For
and then-
for multiplayer content, absolutely.
yeah, and then after that, it kind of jumped around like Diablo, and then
Hey, you did Mass Effect 3 until about the time Diablo came out, and then jumped to that.
yeah,
I think.
That is true, actually.
I really enjoyed Mass Effect, and that's the other thing too about Dragon Age is the multiplayer. While a little slower than Dragon Age, the combat isn't necessarily as fast paced as Mass Effect. It's got that same hook, where you're playing 4 players, you're kicking ass as a 4-player team against an AI horde. You're progressing, you're doing quests together, you're defeating final bosses, you're getting loot, you're getting gold to buy chests. You're leveling up your characters. You're picking like you would in the main game with like an RPG tree. It's fantastic. It's a really solid multiplayer mode, and if you have been playing Dragon Age, folks, definitely boot up that multiplayer. It's a lot
To be honest, I never even knew about the multiplayer until about a couple days after.
Yeah, no, and again, it's very easy to miss because Dragon Age, just like Mass Effect, was strictly a single player game. And then they're like, no, we're adding multiplayer, guys. Deal with it. Hashtag deal with it. But Jocelyn in the chat room is just letting everybody know, no, we don't mention Anhur and his special powers on A-Move. Save that for the Gamers In Twitch account and the GIS Gamer Twitch account, which is unrated.
Yep.
So the Dragon Age, I mean,
Wow, I have been
as
missing
good
a
as
lot.
Mass Effect as far as the multiplayer. 'Cause that was pretty great.
Yeah, you're right. The Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was fantastic. I can't say that the Dragon Age multiplayer is as good or better, but it
Two completely different games.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
2 very different games. But I mean, so if you're looking for that Mass Effect multiplayer mode exactly the way it is in a new game, you're gonna have to wait for the next Mass Effect game, which is gonna have that mode. But the Dragon Age multiplayer is multiplayer based in the Dragon Age world. So if you enjoy the combat and the tactics that you get in the Dragon Age world, well, guess what? You've got a solid multiplayer mode to continue using those tactics. And they've already gone forward saying that they are going to support the multiplayer with free patches. They've already started doing that. And that's the most compelling thing for me, because Jocelyn will agree with me here, is that she says in the chat, I can't even pay attention to Ryan right now.
I see Jocelyn on Twitch there busting up. It looks like she's giggling a lot there.
Oh my god. Jimmy in the chat room is just killing me right now with these Anhur references.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I don't get that.
It's the same.
It's probably a good thing.
Okay, so there is a god in Smite named Anhur, and he has an ability where he places an obelisk into the field of play.
Oh no.
And
Does the obelisk do what I think it does?
well, it just kind of comes
It's an
up.
erect tower. Let's just say that.
Yes, it's a very erect tower surrounded by sand.
Yeah, and then when you say,
It's got a nickname.
oh my God, look into the distance there. You can see a sand erect tower has been erected, and everyone's freaking out and running away.
Oh no.
Or oddly aggressive for some reason.
And then every once in a while, there will be one on the other team that will hit me with it right in the face, and I will forget to say the sand part, and I will just yell, erect tower, into the stream.
Which, again, does wonders for her relationship with her neighbors.
Yes.
Awesome conversations when she goes out for the paper in the morning. And just,
Oh dear.
yeah.
And then so Jimmy in the chat room said he better never get a winter skin because you don't want to see any white effects coming out with that ability.
Oh my God.
That's why I was losing it.
Oh,
Jimmy, no.
No, Jimmy, no.
All right,
I'll ask them to do
Because
that.
it
I
was
swear to
really
God.
funny.
this is one of those few moments where I'm okay with Jocelyn not paying attention to what I'm saying.
That's why I was so distracted. So sorry.
I
You were
use it as-
still talking about Dragon Age. What are you talking about Dragon Age now?
I think they moved on to Mass Effect 3.
Oh, did they? Okay.
We're trying
we were discussing the in multiplayer.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out like multiplayer for Mass Effect was so great, and the Dragon Age multiplayer, while similar, is different in the sense that the combat's a lot slower. But the main point I had was that it's fantastic that BioWare has already showcased that they're going to support the multiplayer in Dragon Age with free patches, similar to what they did with Mass Effect 3, which, Jocelyn, you can agree that we really enjoyed with Mass Effect 3. Like, when
Absolutely.
it was a new patch, we were like, well, we got to download it. We got to play these new maps, these new modes, these new characters.
Well, and that's why I find
Yeah,
it so
wow,
interesting
that's
that they
pretty
do, they do the exact opposite with Call of Duty, where, like they will not support any kind of multiplayer outside of, whatever comes with the base game. Like you have to pay for every single new map in that game, and it's frustrating. Versus Mass Effect, where it was just like, oh, yeah, free map pack here, go play, get back into multiplayer. And it kept us playing for
a long time.
pretty solidly for good, like 8 months probably after that game came out. Maybe
time.
longer.
You know, I've been playing it recently. I actually just finished Mass Effect 3 about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really? So what did you think about it? Because we haven't talked about Mass Effect 3 in terms of the campaign in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought the ending was... I mean, I can understand why people were upset. It's really kind of bang done. Very anticlimactic for the whole, 80 hours, roughly, of all 3 games that you've been playing.
So what did you find anticlimactic about it? Because if you haven't played Mass Effect 3, first of all, it's a 2-year-old game now, so if you haven't had it spoiled, then we're probably going to spoil it right now because we're going to talk about the ending. So turn off this now, 2-hour episode. But so what did
They haven't heard it already. It's their own fault.
Well, yeah. So what did you
Just
find
spoiler
so
cast, come on.
anticlimactic? Because I mean,
Well,
one way or
it
another, you
wasn't-
save the universe.
Right, no, you totally saved the universe, and I mean, it was really cool. It's just, it wasn't 100% clear what was going on. And
And you
at
would have
least I
played
felt a little
post-patch because obviously the patch came out years ago that fixed the ending and gave you more explanation. So you found that even with the patched content, it still wasn't enough information for you because the first time we played through, there was no patch. It was just literally this 1 minute thing that was bang, 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 done. And now you've got,
So what was
3?
it for you guys then? Yeah.
Same
Red,
ending.
green, blue.
Well, yeah, same
Right.
ending choices.
I'm sorry, I just had to sum that up.
Yeah, no.
Oh man, do you remember the shitstorm that was the ending to Mass Effect 3? And
And even in its
I remembered
condensed
it, but
form.
wasn't playing it, so just stayed the heck away from the whole thing. So
I really enjoyed that game, and I felt I was like, guys, how else do you end it without
Oh,
putting
yeah,
more
no.
time into the ending
There
than you
isn't
did
an-
the 30
yeah.
hour campaign?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't know. I was happy with the epilogue type stuff they added in the extended cut. And that was truly an example of, well, guys, if you got to this point through obvious player feedback that you should have seen coming, you should have spent the extra 6 months to create this expanded ending, not just and so and so died and everybody lived happily ever after because that person turned a light and made your face glow a little bit. The end. It's like, what? That doesn't even make sense. What?
Yeah, I remember the same year that Mass Effect 3 came out. I went to Edmonton Expo
Mhm.
there, and I talked to a bunch of the guys there at BioWare. I can't remember what exactly they said about it.
They might have been happy that you brought up you're the first person to talk to us about the ending.
No. I was just. I did talk to quite a bit of them. I actually still have the papers there. They handed out these little mini posters. I got a lot of autographs on it, and
Nice.
Mark Meir was there, dressed up as a Vorcha.
Oh, sweet.
Because
Mark
apparently
Meir is the guy who voices
Commander Shepard,
Yeah,
and
male
Shepard.
apparently he does all the voices of the Vorcha. Because
Ooh.
no one can do that voice.
Did he do the voice for you?
Yeah, he also did. He did the Vorcha voice, and over the PA system, he did the whole little. This is Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite convention. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
It was awesome.
Can I just say that if people listening here, we have a lot of people listening from around the world, and if you ever go to the conventions and you find somebody of geek note, and you want to get him to record a bumper for the show, that would be fantastic. I don't think we have any
No pressure,
bumpers.
no pressure, but
No pressure, but
that's
it's
true.
just as a
Actually,
thing.
we need to get on that.
I mean, we go to
We've been
Nerd
some
Tap, we know
places.
all the
We've done
peeps.
some things.
Man, if
Yeah.
you guys get
And-
a full Shep bumper, I would die.
I have.
Oh,
She's in
Jennifer Hale.
Ashran, and it throws me off every single time I hear her because I'm just like, why the hell is there sci-fi in my freaking WoW PvP?
Oh, that gets me every time. I play it. Like I said, I play a lot of video games. You guys know this. But every time like one of my favorite voice actors pop up,
Yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
I can't stop thinking of like the last game I played that character with, or that male actor. Like Troy Baker's everywhere, so like he doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me anymore. But like right now, I think like Laura Bailey's one that comes out of nowhere. Like she's the female character in Tales from the Borderlands,
Mm.
and she also does the voice. A couple other voices, I can't think of it right now. It's just these actors and actresses they pop up everywhere and they start to overlap, and especially like playing games this late in the
Mhm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Or even
so
like
jarring.
TV shows and stuff like that, because it turns out like Jennifer Hale did a bunch of the voices from like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Mighty Ducks, all those old cartoons here, because I have Wikipedia brought up here. Thank God.
Cheater.
Hey, I like to be accurate. But yeah, it turns out she did a lot of the voices in cartoons that I watched growing up. And I never knew that before. And ever since Mass Effect 3 came out, I've been really paying attention to those kind of things there now. And I feel kind of good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you like voice actors, you should. There's that documentary. You know,
Right.
the,
Whose voice
know
is
that-
that?
I know
Or-
that voice.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I like my title better. Whose voice is that?
This is that.
Whose voice is that? No. Sorry, what was the actual title again?
I know that voice.
I know that voice. That actually is a far superior title.
Yeah.
I know that voice. It's on Netflix, both Canadian and American, I believe. It's definitely here in Canada. I've seen it pop up. It's on my favorite
Yeah, no,
list.
it's on the American one. I just watched it a little
Perfect.
while ago, and it's really good.
Does it have a lot of video game actors?
Nolan North is in a bunch of it.
Love Nolan North.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course.
He's like it goes Nathan Fillion, Nolan North, and no wait, Chris Pratt is at the top in terms of like guy crushes.
Oh, we're talking about your man crushes
It's,
now?
there was somebody
Really?
from Mass Effect. I don't remember
Oh.
who it was now.
Chris Pratt, Jurassic World. Come on. He has
I actually
raptor
picked up-
friends, guys. Come on.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. Did stuff freeze again? Or did just Ryan freeze? I think Ryan's got too many people in the call. It's killing his internet. Okay, I think we're going to... Yeah, Ryan's totally gone. Did everything die, or can you guys still hear me? I think the stream's still going. So we'll just hang out. Hi, guys. Gonna do a little dance. Be entertaining. Yay. Okay, Ryan is calling.
Skype crashed.
I know, it's because you don't actually take people out of the call. You need to, when you bring a new person in, you need to get rid of an old person. Otherwise, Skype is going to have a shit fit.
Well, we were going for exactly 2 hours. You're right. We should probably scroll some people in. So we're still live. Why don't we pull Niblet Man in, because he was the
Yeah.
last to join. And somebody else call in. If you want to call in, certainly call in.
I think Evan said he was going to call in. Valk, you have to call in, buddy. We need to get some PvP talk going. They've been talking Dragon Age for like ever and making me fall asleep.
Play the game. You won't fall asleep. But we should talk about
My
something.
dragon says, "Rawr."
Alright. Josh, no, you can't call it. You've been on the call since it started. Come on now. Although he probably wants to talk to Evan. Are you playing with your dragon?
Yes.
Your
Oh, the dragon
yeah.
hit the mic. Sorry. He's so big, I can't help it.
That dragon is badass.
He's so pointy. I want to put him back on my shoulder, but he was like literally hurting my shoulder because of just look at all the points. Look at his claws. He's intense.
That's
Very large and pokey.
Very pokey, but so cool.
That's a solid purchase for a collector's edition. Now, when was the last
You're
time?
going all crunchy.
Am I going crunchy?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I haven't changed anything.
Harry looks like he's eating my face.
A little bit robot.
Damn it.
Josh, let's call him back. All right, Josh, I'll add you. Only because you called nicely? I don't know. Evan needs to call, though. I will not add 6 people to the call again. Oh, I should hit record, though. We're back. Now we're recording. Oh, I'll get that from the live show. We don't usually do these long shows, but...
I know. It's because, we said that we'd be here as long as people want to call in and talk to us. So we will be here as long as people want to call in and talk to us because 3rd anniversary. Woo! And actually, we have a couple of questions from the chat room, which I will... Ryan, you're adding 18 billion people to the call again.
I added Evan. Josh, I'm going to have to let you go because Jocelyn's going to hurt me.
Yeah, I'll drop out.
All right. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay, so yeah, we have a couple of questions from the chat room, so I will copy them down and then we can answer them after.
Sure. You want to take one now?
I don't know. Does Niblet Man want to talk?
Well,
Sure, yeah.
we have Niblet Man here in the chat, and he like, should we keep calling you Niblet Man or like?
Well, no, I'm Mike.
Okay.
Hi, Mike.
That might be easier.
Cool, Mike. Is this the Mike that we got an email from just today?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes. Thank you for that. You just gotta. This is the
Oh,
guy.
man, I haven't checked the emails.
Oh, this is the guy I was telling you about. And Evan's on the call as well, our favorite Australian. Who?
Is on the call? Is
Very
not.
quiet.
He's on the call. He's
Oh, okay.
just.
Well, it's all the way from Australia, so it takes a while to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to let it catch up.
We're waiting for it to arrive. He's coming. Although I'm sure the moment he will talk about was that moment when I was being extremely racist when we were playing Smite, and I forgot. Well, no excuse. I think I spoke with an Australian accent or something. It was terrible. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people in the chat room. I want to know though, Jocelyn, like in terms of your dragon sculpture, was that the last big collector's edition you purchased?
No, it was actually, and you can see it behind me. It was the ESO one. It's other shoulder. See, this one, the red box. That was the last big one I bought. And that came with he's like the big bad end boss, and he's like all rawr, and he's holding the little hero in his hand. Looks like he's about to eat him.
Nice.
So I got that statue too. But before that, it was probably Skyrim. I don't buy a whole lot of collector's editions, so.
I think I stopped buying them. I went all digital with my games, which is odd because I was a big collector's edition purchaser. Even like Blizzard titles. Like I think the last one I bought was Diablo Reaper of Souls, and I have not purchased a collector's edition since then. It's been mostly pre-orders via digital. Yeah, Evan, you're on the call. We can't hear you.
Is your mic muted?
Yes.
Although, I don't know what the hell's going on with Skype because I was listening to the live instance this afternoon and they were having issues with hearing Patrick. He just, for whatever reason, wasn't coming through. So
Weird.
Skype is being stupid and lame and Skypey and stupid, but
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten a big collector's edition. The last physical game I got was Wasteland 2 off the Kickstarter.
Wow. That was how is that game? I keep seeing it pop up.
It is
on
fun.
Steam
Like,
sales.
did you ever play like the old Fallout games?
No, I haven't.
Or like any of those old isometric RPGs?
Not really. I sort of got into got on the scene with PC gaming like very late. Like, and even when I did in the early days, it was like my uncle's like, "Here's a copy of Doom. Don't show your
yeah.
mom." Okay, and I played Doom.
Wolfenstein 3D.
I never even played Wolfenstein 3D. It was like Doom, Warcraft, not even Warcraft 2. And then when I really got serious into PC games, it was like Warcraft 3. So like that old school Fallout stuff and and XCOM and Wastelands, I never, or even the point and click stuff. It just never clicked with me.
Yeah, no, I played it way later. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Wastelands 2 is a solid upgrade to to that.
Yeah,
sort of-
totally. No, it's sort of like you can kind of think of it like the Fallout, like the old original Fallout, like the kind of isometric adventure slash post-apocalyptic RPG kind of thing.
Hmm.
Really solid.
Cool. Yeah, I'm tempted. That game looks really cool, and it's gonna go on sale multiple times, I'm sure, over the course of the Steam sale. Which I am feverishly checking every 24 hours, but also hoping that nothing goes on sale that I absolutely want, because I've kind of hit my limit already in December for purchases. But I think I blame Smite for that. Definitely with the Black Friday sale and whatnot.
Oh, did they have one?
Yeah, they did. They did gems. I think both Jocelyn and I like really poured money into it with that Black Friday sale. What was it? Jocelyn, was like bonus gems.
Yes, there were bonus gems.
Yeah. She
Honestly,
says,
super solid game.
yeah.
I was in the beta and I played a ton of League of Legends. I like Smite though. It's really nice. It's a lot faster.
Right. Well, you'll have to play with us.
Yeah,
when we
for
play.
sure.
Because we're really enjoying it. We play probably at least once a week. Probably won't play tonight after Gamers In. We're already going pretty late.
I know, it's already midnight. I can't believe this. Normally we're done long before 11, so this is a really long show.
Well, it's an anniversary show.
I know. Chat room was just asking, and I figure I might as well talk about it. What the medals behind me are for. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I have a silver one from 2012 and a gold one from 2013, and those are for Extra Life. So if you raise $500, you get a silver one. If you raise over $1,000, you get a gold one. So I have a gold one coming for 2014 too, which is exciting. And we should actually probably mention, right this second, that donations for Extra Life are actually still open. They're open until the 31st, and I don't think we have anyone on our team who's actually hit their goal. So if you guys have been waiting, then
We aimed high.
We did. We all
With
aimed
kids.
very high. I think I'm going to do a stream probably tomorrow night and try to hit my goal. I think I'm about $250 short, and I think I might actually stream that scary teddy bear game
Oh, God.
just to try to hit that goal. So we're close in a lot of cases. So if you can or want to help out, it all goes to children's hospital charities. So it's really, really great cause, and we have so much fun doing it every year. So
Any excuse to play, and I mean, it is an excuse to play games, but it's an excuse is such a strong word. It's just a great reason to play video games for charity. And if you caught Jocelyn playing Slender from 2012, oh boy, you should definitely catch her playing Friday Night at Freddy's or whatever it's
I
called.
feel like I need to play it just for the hilarity that I know is going to ensue, because I feel like I'm probably actually going to just get up and run away from the computer on stream, because in 2012 playing Slender, the Slender Man popped out and did what he did. I don't even know, stabbed the crap out of me or ate my face. They're not really clear what happens. It's
everything.
just terrifying.
He stabbed your face and ate your...
All of the above.
Yeah. I don't care what you said.
And I literally, there's wheels on my chair, and I just grabbed the desk, threw my headphones down, and pushed myself so hard I ended up on the other side of the room just doing this. So yeah, it was really, really intense. So
Yeah. That was a freaky game, and Friday Night at Freddy's is more so like a tense jump scare type thing.
it was worse having you guys on Skype, because everyone was at different points. I wasn't really sure what to do. I wasn't sure how to move around or get away or anything, or even what the point of the game was. It was just download this game, it's free, we're gonna have some fun, it's scary, whatever. So I'm like, okay. And it was terrifying, and I didn't even pick up one note. I saw it and I ran the other way, because I'm like, if I don't touch the notes, then maybe Slender Man will just leave me alone. Spoiler alert, he doesn't.
He certainly does not. There was another question in here. Someone was asking about Telltale's...
Yeah, I wrote a couple down. So,
Yeah.
Knifey versus, I guess?
Knifey.
Knifey says, can you guys talk about Square Enix's new episodic game and Minecraft by Telltale? So I want to talk about Minecraft by Telltale first, because I know that there are a lot of people that really, really love Minecraft. It is huge. It is this total, like, overarching cultural thing, especially in younger generations of gamers. Like, we're talking, you know, the 10 to, 20-year-olds, teenagers are way into Minecraft. But honestly, Telltale, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like, there is no story in Minecraft. That's the whole point. So,
Yeah,
I don't
but
know what they're doing, man.
the thing is, though, like, if we want to take the argument, like 2 hours ago that we were talking about Hearthstone with the 20 million players, like, this is Telltale's excuse. Like, guys, millions of people are playing Minecraft. If we make a game that is even as that features the art style and the look and the humor and the overall feel of Minecraft and apply the Telltale je ne sais quoi, we can make money, guys.
Maybe it'll actually look good because Minecraft is so blocky that you won't notice the terrible Telltale engine.
You know what? I think you're right. This is perfect. Telltale doesn't need to upgrade their engine. They need to downgrade their visual.
Their textures.
Well, not what's their the need of visuals. Like, you look at Game of Thrones, and the argument was they're definitely going to upgrade their engine for this. It's Game of Thrones, guys. They didn't. You look at Tales from the Borderlands. Yeah, that's about as high as you can go with that Telltale engine without it breaking, like, just breaking the mold, right? It looks just bad. And yeah, I don't know, Minecraft story, like, maybe Telltale will do something cool with it. We had the same reaction when they were doing a Borderlands game, and that turned out all right. But I don't know, like, the kids that are into the creative aspect of Minecraft, are they gonna be into a story Telltale game? Like, I doubt it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what's the Square Enix thing?
I don't know. I figured that you would know that, so I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I don't know anything about a episodic Square Enix thing. I know that Square Enix is being very cagey on their Tomb Raider exclusivity with Xbox One, which has Josh all giddy and me all upset. But
Time Traveler?
Who time travels?
Okay, hang on, I'll find it. Oh, sorry. New episodic adventure game called Life is Strange.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah, I've seen it popping up all over the place. Life is Strange, eh?
It was announced.
Oh, it's
a while ago, actually.
A couple days. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, November 8th. This is a new game from the French developers who did Remember Me, which was a really cool game that had some interesting aspects and a great art style. You basically played a person who
a great art style.
No, well, that is an.
I wasn't the only one that heard that, right?
I've been talking for like 2.5 hours. Great art style. The comment that everybody else heard me say makes me sound like one of those really bad people, but yeah, it was a great art style. You played as a character who could remix memories, and that was sort of her power. And this looks really cool. Yeah, and it doesn't say when it's releasing, but I don't know. It looks neat. The screenshots really don't do much justice, except it looks fantastic. And you're playing as a couple of female leads, which is always a good thing for games these days.
So Josh is in the chat room is just saying that Telltale needs to do Minecraft so they can prove they can make their own story because they don't have anything to build from. So they have the challenge of building one from scratch, essentially. And I mean, that is enough to make me just say, I'm out. Like, Walking Dead was pretty good. They've kind of taken, Wolf Among Us was a total departure from the comics. It was a prequel, so you kind of had no story there. Game of Thrones and Walking Dead did the same thing where they were in the universe but not following the main characters and the main storyline. So you could argue that although they use other IPs, they tend to make their own stories.
I don't think they've really taken, like, besides Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones is probably the closest they've come to taking a IP and sort of doing half their own story and half somebody else's story, because they still have to really wedge it into the Game of Thrones story. But with, like, you're right, with Walking Dead, they've created their own story in somebody else's universe, which is nice. But I think, yeah, like Josh is right. Like they're gonna have to. It's all hands on deck to make an interesting story set in the Minecraft world, and it's an interesting experiment. Don't know. I find it hard to be excited, but hey, it might come out and everyone will go gangbusters, or it could be another Jurassic Park, like giant pile of Triceratops poop. I don't know. Like I really don't. Yeah. Is there anything else the chat room had for us? Someone had pizza. Jimmy the Shovel had pizza. Jimmy, you said you were gonna call in. Jimmy, no.
Let me see here. What game do we want to see made into an episodic series? I don't want to see any more episodic games. I'm so over that whole thing.
That is like, I can't think. Nothing like comes off the top of my head. I mean, Resident Evil is gonna have an episodic game come out in February. Revelations 2. The thing they're doing that's great, that I'm sure is one of the reasons why Jocelyn, you're kind of opposed. I'm just assuming you can let me know if I'm wrong, but the fact that you're getting a chunk of the story every couple months has got to be weighing on your opinion of episodic games. Am I right?
Sorry, I was not typing. I was paying attention. What's weighing on my opinion of episodic games?
The fact that you're getting an episodic, when you get an episodic game, you're getting like the story in, one in chunks between months. Like you're waiting months to get it, and I find that what they're doing with Resident Evil Revelations is you're getting a new episode. You buy the season pass, and you're getting a new episode every week. So you're not having to wait that long chunk. It's more like a TV show, which was the original analogy that developers used when they started making episodic content. So
yeah, and I can kind of see that, but I think my problem with episodic games is that with a TV show, you have an overarching kind of storyline from start to finish in a season. Generally, there's some TV shows, especially in their first season, that do that kind of monster of the week thing. But I mean, like with episodic games, I find that they rely too much on the overarching story arc and not enough on making each episode like good in and of itself. Like we had so many, even with Wolf Among Us, which is, I mean, I think we can agree our favorite out of the episodic titles we've played so far. I find in the episodes, there's like 2 or 3 of them that are just kind of meh, and they feel like they're transitional and kind of filling in space. And if it was just a game released that you could play whenever, then you wouldn't notice that kind of space filler because you're not stopped halfway through the middle part of the arc,
Yeah.
I find TV does a much, much, much better job of keeping you interested in each episode. And even then, a lot of TV shows, when they go on for 24 episodes in a season or 22 episodes in a season, whatever, they do have some of those filler episodes as well. But when you only have 5 episodes and one of those or 2 of those are filler, like I find usually the 2nd episode and the 4th episode, it's just like, oh man, like I just want to keep going in the story because this wasn't a fulfilling experience for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Walking Dead, the first one, yeah.
Yeah, episode 2 of Walking Dead was sort of, well, actually no, episode 2 of Walking Dead was all right. There was an
3 or 4.
Yeah, 2 had its own contained story which really played well in the universe and for the characters. It was one of those episodes where it didn't take you anywhere, and the only thing that was good about it was like the final scene where there was like dun dun dun, something happened, but you were dragging yourself through 2 hours of subpar walk animation cycles, to get to that one moment when someone did something interesting.
Yeah.
And I totally see that argument, and I don't know how you fix it. Do you fix it by designing the game in totality up front and then releasing it in chunks as you go? Because what they're doing is they're completing an episode, getting to a point where there's, they've got a content. Sorry, I lost
you
my
have
train
been
of thought.
talking for a long time.
Yeah, I have been, and
Well, they're missing a full beginning, middle, end. For here and there, they're missing that for an episode.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a comic book, because you'll see them write a 5-issue arc, a 6-issue arc, somewhere in there, 3 or 4, things kind of die for that issue.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Like they have a beginning, middle, end when they set out to do season 2 or whatever of Telltale's series, but they don't. There's obvious filler there. Like they can't always be talking about the beginning, middle, and end in 5 episodes, which worries me that they're doing 6 episodes for Game of Thrones. Like they say, we have such a huge story that we need 6 episodes to tell it. It's like, well,
Really?
maybe, but episode 1 really didn't showcase that. Like you, well, I can't. I guess we shouldn't really spoil something.
No, we shouldn't, because it's still
but,
pretty new.
But it just feels like you're the episode 1. They started off at an interesting pace, but it'll be interesting. It'll be crazy to see where they go with 6 episodes.
Yeah.
But
so just quickly, we have a cat that has joined us.
Oh yeah, Jimmy. No.
So hi Jim, how you doing?
Meow.
Oh, it is
Hi,
a
guys.
cat.
Yes, sort of.
Do you have an
I
opinion
can
on
somehow drive.
on episodic gaming, or have you tried out Wolf Among Us and Game of Thrones?
I have never played any of them.
Oh, you're missing out.
It
Well,
sounds
actually, not really.
inconvenient.
I feel like
is
now that everything is available, you would probably be better to, like download the first season of Walking Dead and play all the way through that. And, download all of Wolf Among Us and play all the way through that.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want to actually do the whole start when they release it and just wait for the crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
don't do that. I did it with Walking Dead, and I still haven't finished season 1, just because I got to a certain point where I was just like, and then the next one won't be out for a month.
Yeah.
Like it's really easy to get into a game and finish 2 hours of it and be like, oh, that was great, but there's no more content. Okay. And then
Well,
months go by and you're like, oh, right. Episodic content. I should probably check it out. Oh, there's like 3 episodes released and it's finished and it's been spoiled and crap.
Or like you get
Yeah.
to a point where you're just like kind of, but there's 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. Yeah. What do you do when you hit the point of, okay, I've played as much as I want to play, but I'm not done the game yet? Oh, man.
And see, that's where the playing month by month or as they're released comes in handy if you actually do want to see the whole story.
I think that that's actually worse, because if I have a full game sitting in front of me, I can say like, okay, I have it, I should just keep playing it. But if I have to wait because of some deadline imposed on me by the developer because they want to do a game in episodes, which I still don't understand who made that decision and thought that was a good idea anyway.
Valve, and then they promptly stopped doing it after they realized it didn't work.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, if I have to wait, I'm going to forget about the game. And, I mean, I guess they're kind of getting us now because they're saying, oh, buy the whole season for, $25 or whatever. Like, I remember when Walking Dead came out, they had episodic pricing.
Yeah.
And they moved away from that really quickly. I don't know if you can even still buy individual episodes, but they definitely, the first thing when it says, like, oh, do you want to buy Telltale's whatever, it always says, like $24.99 for the entire season. Like, you can't find just individual episode pricing anymore. So
I want to own
they
Telltale's
get you
whatever.
that way. Telltale's whatever.
No, I was more along the lines of if you do get a bad episode, and I know a lot of people, me included, who when I play something terrible, nothing makes me want to keep playing it. Like, that was terrible. I don't want to experience more of it. You go away now. Whereas with the episodic games, like, the argument can be made that you can get in there and play the episode. It's like, well, that was subpar, but I like where the story's going, and I guess I really don't have to pay more attention to it until the next episode comes out, so I'll keep playing. But that's what they've really changed it. Like, I thought the whole point of episodic gaming was you buy it episode by episode, but you're right. Like, there's really no option on a majority of platforms now to buy it episode by episode.
It's because they know you're going to buy it and play the first episode and not finish it. So then they're just like, well, we could get $5 or we could get $25.
I think it's, if everybody, if you have the theory that everybody is evil, then sure, that is the, and I don't think you're
They're
wrong.
all out to get me.
I don't think you're wrong at all, because I think you're right. Like, people realize that when people buy season passes, yes, of course, we get more money than what we're actually giving them. Like, You look at DLC season passes.
I was gonna say you and Borderlands.
Yes, perfect example. You're right. Like Borderlands 2, I've purchased more DLC for that game than I played even the main campaign. I
You should, it's
despise
great.
Borderlands now.
Oh.
I know. It's like I enjoy playing with other people, but like I went all in too quickly.
Mm.
I was like, take all my chips, I'm in, and then like, oh crap.
I'm in the exact same boat as Ryan with Borderlands 2.
Yeah. Now
I
Tales
separately
from the
bought the Game
Borderlands.
of the Year edition, got all the DLC, and played like 20 minutes of Tiny Tina's Attack on Dragon Keep, and that was it. I just played so much. I played the single player campaign all the way through. I played a lot with other people. It's just too much,
Yeah, I don't know.
Burnout, yeah.
I don't want every game to be episodic, don't get me wrong, but I do appreciate a quick 3-hour experience, like just to
I have
get
that
in
too.
there.
It's called 5 Games of Hearthstone.
I
Yes.
mean, like, that is a good point. Yeah, the argument can be made that if I want a quick, fun experience, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, Garrison, check out. Like, there's any kind of game, a quick match, Dragon Age multiplayer. But what I'm talking about is like a quick, concise, story-based, like just a snippet of gameplay, and Telltale's episodic games really do that for me, and that's why I keep playing them and enjoy them. That by no means means that I'm going to pick up the Minecraft game, because
No.
I will wait to see what people think, which is what I did with Tales from the Borderlands, and I am enjoying that game, and I do recommend it for those who didn't quite enjoy Borderlands or Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
So
The problem with the episodic thing, if you're playing it as it's released, is that if you have the subpar episode and you have to wait a month before you can play anything else, you might just not care.
Mhm.
See,
when that comes up.
that's exactly what I was saying, because it's just like, well, that was kind of boring. Then there's a month between, and there's no hype. There's no like, oh yeah, I can't wait for it. It's just, okay.
yeah.
I find there
that
was a lot of hype with the first Walking Dead.
Mhm.
And I think that they probably did the best job. I think I'm trying to remember Wolf Among Us. No, I was pretty hyped about Wolf Among
Wolf
Us.
Among Us, they did well, but I think the issue with Telltale right now is that they've got too much going on. Like, it's really hard to keep a hype train going when you've got to, feed the fire every other month, or every month rather, because this year they have Borderlands, Game of Thrones, once every month, a new release, and then what?
And Wolf Among Us is coming soon too, isn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised if they announced Wolf Among Us Season 2, because, again, Telltale's proven that they're very good at following up on popular games like Walking Dead Season 2. Like, they came out pretty quick with that. But anyways, I almost forgot your name. I'm going to scroll down because I actually wrote it in the docs, because you're our patron this week, Mike. There he is, Mike. Mike, I remember your name. I'm not going to call you Niblet Man again, but Mike the Niblet Man. I just did it. Sorry.
Yep. No, that's fine.
Thank you for calling in. I think we'll rotate you out. Is there anywhere?
There was one question I wanted to say.
Shoot.
So it was, are there any games that you're just like really, really hoping for on the Steam sale?
Ooh. Jocelyn, go ahead.
I would really like Dragon Age to go on sale, but it's not on Steam, so it would have to be an Origin sale, I guess.
Or Green Man Gaming.
Or Green Man Gaming.
Buying games on the PC.
Or Amazon.
Well,
let me see.
we don't get it on Amazon here in the old Canada.
I don't know. That's a really hard question, because I don't feel like I have any big, huge holes in my gaming life right now. Other than Batman, which I'm going to fill as soon as I can get off this call and not crash the internet.
Yeah. We both crashed the call.
Yeah, that's true. But what about you, Ryan? Are you looking at Steam right now? Because be careful with that.
No, I'm not. Well, load it in your browser and you'll be fine. I'm.
I can look at the app.
Shadow of Mordor is my game that I'm really looking forward to.
See, I already have that. I already have Call of Duty. I feel like pretty much everything that I wanted. Oh my God, both Garrett and Swick are calling me.
What?
They're calling like the GIS gamer account. They don't know that they're supposed to call you.
Oh, well, they can call you. I think it works the same way.
No, it says I have to put the active call on hold. Oh, but wait, maybe I can I add them to
There
the
should
call?
be a plus button.
You're a plus button.
I'm trying to help this time. Evidently, I've been too antagonistic tonight.
Let's see if this works.
But I'm definitely going for Shadow of Mordor. I think I did not pick that one up, and I didn't pick it up last Steam sale because I figured it would go on sale this Steam sale.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to?
No, definitely Shadows of Mordor for me. I just got a new PC and I'm waiting. Like I just finished building it, and
Ooh.
so that's gonna be the new thing to see if I actually did it well and it doesn't end up a burning pile of mess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't turn your computer into a burning pile of mess. 'Cause that's unfortunate.
Did we get Garrett? We have a wild Garrett appearing.
All right.
You
How's the
guys are-
Hobbit? Spill it.
You guys are still recording.
Yes.
We're
We
going for
said that
3
we'd
hours.
stay as long as we had people who wanted to keep calling in. So we've been cycling people through for 3 hours now.
Who
Well,
said that? It's getting hot in
I
here.
just
Ash,
now made
turn the
it in.
heat up.
I
What'd you say,
barely
Jim?
said anything said I just now made it, and I barely said anything so far.
And I'm gonna let you guys go so we don't do what we did before and crash.
Yeah, where I crashed.
So
Skype doesn't like it when there's more than about 4 people on the call.
All right.
Thanks a lot for calling in, Mike.
hey, yeah, thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, so we're still recording, Garrett. You made it. I said, hey, if that 3-hour movie finishes and we're still going, you should jump in. And you're like, well, it's a 3-hour movie. I'm like, well, now you're here.
They're a movie, and there's a lot of alcohol between the parking lot and the theater, so...
Do we have whiskey Garrett with us right now?
No, because there was also a 3-hour movie between me drinking and the end of the movie.
But dude, you have a flask.
I also have to drive.
Oh,
and be
make
a-
Katie drive.
Yeah, you guys don't have snow, right? So
Yeah, how hard could it possibly be?
I like I really like the idea that because there's no snow, that drinking and driving is
No.
fine.
Excuse me, that's not what I was
That's
implying.
a delightful thing to imply there, Ryan.
I didn't know Katie was drinking too. You didn't tell me that. so the only way you could get Katie to see the I almost said Lord of the Rings, the next Hobbit film was just for her to have a flask the entire time. Is that what you're saying?
No, she was quite excited to see it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
No. Katie's down with the fantasy.
Oh, see, I would need a flask to get Ashley to see The Hobbit. I had to travel 2.5 hours to go see Guardians of the Galaxy.
What?
Yeah, I went with buddies rather than with my future wife to be. She is
Not to judge your current wife as is, but what movies does she enjoy? Could you just well, he just said at the time bride to be. I'm like, well, now current wife, because you guys are married now.
Yes, we're married now, but when
So,
Guardians of the Galaxy came out,
If you don't like Lord of the Rings and you don't like Guardians of the Galaxy, that pretty much eliminates the two best genre of film, which is fantasy and sci-fi. So what does she actually watch? Like documentaries about making Cheetos?
that would be fantastic. She won't watch that either with me. No, she's not really into movies per se. She really likes the drama, the thrillers. She's obsessed with Criminal Minds. She loves that show.
Oh,
I'm
wow, one of those.
If I start exhibiting one of those, thank you.
I'm just teasing.
It's why I have a cable subscription, unfortunately, because they don't have Criminal Minds on Netflix. But the great thing, and it wouldn't, like, we wouldn't be married right now. And if you've seen the wedding photos that we took, she's really great at just, playing ball, really being really cool with all this geeky stuff. And of course,
She let you have a Mario wedding cake.
yeah, exactly. And she went and saw Interstellar with me. She really enjoyed it. So when I say to her, it's like, okay, we're gonna go see a movie that has space travel and time travel and cornfields that turn on fire and weird time things. And she's like, that sounds really weird, Ryan.
Don't talk to me about that movie because I haven't seen it yet.
Well, that's not spoilery. Those are all like just I
Things
did
from the
stop
trailer.
myself. Yeah, things from the trailer. I did stop myself, but then
I don't remember burning wheat fields or anything having to do with time. So
What are you talking about? What movie are you talking about right now?
Can't say now because I don't want to ruin it.
well, he's talking about Interstellar,
Evidently,
Oh, okay.
which I have seen
I don't.
none
I,
of.
I don't think I've spoiled anything. You're fine.
On the I'm kind of hopeless because I still haven't seen Inception. So
Oh well, that one. I don't really remember a lot about that game.
So
but
good.
game
Josh
or
was
movie?
movie. This is a game show.
We've been talking for a really long time.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell.
I'm really losing myself here, but no, she's just very cool with it. Games, no interest, but movies she'll deal
Should
with.
give it a try.
Yeah.
Josh in the chat room was just saying that talking about the wedding reminds him of the semi-drunk TGI episode that we did that lasted 10 minutes. And I love how he says semi-drunk because I was very...
It was 6 minutes of Jocelyn drank a bunch of wine and
everything Ryan said was the funniest thing I had ever heard.
I didn't eat anything, but had I forced the waiter to just get us beers. I don't want wine. Get me beer.
I've seen that Jocelyn, the Jocelyn that is easily amused.
Yes.
Actually, easily amused is putting it lightly. I feel like the proper term would be overly amused.
I'm not that bad.
You're overly amused. Hey, I get the same way. It's fine. It happens.
It's better that I'm a happy, giggly drunk than a really angry drunk.
My favorite was still the couldn't tell you were so drunk that you didn't remember the evening. That was my favorite kind of drunk, Jocelyn, where you were so drunk you had your shit together like no one I've ever seen in my life.
I'm always so terrified of embarrassing myself that when I realize that I've just gone over the edge, I'm like, oh crap, don't move, don't say anything. They're going to know.
Just Van Damme, just all right, game face on. And then the next morning it was just like, did we end up at this one hotel last night? I'm like, yeah, for an hour. Well, I don't remember any of that. I'm like, really? Because you were fine. You seemed totally fine.
I was not fine.
Especially if you don't remember a hotel room that you were at.
It wasn't the room, it was the lobby, and it was full of people, and there were
the lobby
things
full
happening.
of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
That sounds like a rave.
Didn't make an impression on me whatsoever.
Had they dimmed the lights and started playing bad music, it would have been.
Yeah, well, you guys all got. You're in. Where was it? It was at BlizzCon, so it was California, right?
Yeah.
Y'all got iPhones. Just whip out half of you put on a strobe light app, and the other half just play Spotify playlist. You're fine.
You would not have been able to hear a Spotify playlist over how many drunk people there were in this lobby.
That's true. Everyone be quiet. I'm trying to listen to pop Christmas music or whatever's popular on Spotify right now. But I pulled Paul in here. Paul's in the call now. If you can hear us,
Ryan.
What? It sounds
Ryan, hello.
You're off mic. Get your right mic set up.
Fix your shit,
no,
Paul.
I'm on mic. I am calling you at great personal risk.
Oh no.
Driving? We already had this conversation. Don't talk to us and drive at the same time.
It's too late. The ship has sailed. I'm being the irresponsible American, and
we've had lots of hits on the show tonight.
And I might as well just have a. Did what?
Does that make me the responsible American by default? Because I don't like that title.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I wasn't very convinced there. I ran out of water a long time ago.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, my drink's been empty for an hour and a half. It's really sad.
I was just thinking, we probably could split this episode into 2 bits and release this one on Boxing Day.
We probably should. Because this is going to be so long.
Man. It's been fun, though. It's fun to hang out. I want to know, speaking of The Hobbit, we're not going to talk about movies anymore. I already ruined that for
everyone. Yeah, we cannot talk about The Hobbit. We cannot. I haven't seen it yet, so...
Let me finish.
You haven't seen it? Have you read the book?
Yes.
So then what do you care about?
Because it's 3 hours of awesome, and I don't want to know when the awesome happens and how Peter Jackson chose to...
Don't worry about it, Jocelyn, because it's literally the whole fucking movie. From beginning to end, it is the longest fucking fight scene I have ever seen. It is ridiculous. Really? Quentin Tarantino ain't got shit on Peter Jackson.
Yay!
A lot of feet is what you're saying.
It is so delightfully over the top. I enjoyed it a lot. It's just a non-stop fight scene.
Perfect.
But I was going to bring it back to games on that note of Hobbits. Are you guys really into the Lord of the Rings games? Shadow of Mordor is kind of a big 2014 title, and we're all trying to play it, but
Well, if you can't say games plural, because really there was just a bunch of licensed games when the original trilogy came out, some of which were good, some of which were total trash, and then there was nothing, and now we have Shadow of Mordor, which I just beat it
oh
Oh, really?
yesterday.
How was it?
It was
You can talk about that while I go get another drink.
very good. I highly recommend it.
Okay, I'm waiting to see what happens on the Steam sale. I think it was like 50% for the fall sale.
Yeah, I picked it up for $20 on a Black Friday sale.
That's not bad. Yeah, American Amazon, man.
Yep, that's exactly where I got my buddy to buy it for me because I actually didn't have internet on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Well, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. It's funny because we'll make fun of Jocelyn while she's not here, but one of her favorite games, I think on the GameCube, was the actual Hobbit game they put out, not based on the movies, but based on like the book property, and it wasn't even made by EA.
Yeah, I'm aware of that one. That one they specifically weren't allowed to pull from anything related to the movies. They had to base it solely on just the Hobbit book. They couldn't pull from the Lord of the Rings books. They couldn't pull from the Silmarillion. They could only pull from the Hobbit book, and they had to specifically make it not look like the movie.
Yeah.
Which is just
it looked terrible.
Man, how bizarre. Like, and so also bad. That game kind of stunk. Like, I remember at the time really enjoying the Two Towers and the Return of the King adventure games. Or not adventure games, action games.
Yeah, no, the Two Towers was really good. That was the EA game where you kind of played. It was like co-op or single player.
Yeah, you could play as Aragorn, Legolas, or Gimli.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but I'm glad you dug Shadow of Mordor. That's kind of the one of the 2014 games that I just haven't had a chance to try yet.
Yeah, that and Dragon Age. I haven't had a chance to play Dragon Age yet. It's pretty high up on the list, but it wasn't on sale.
Are you thinking PC?
For Dragon Age, no, I want to play that on my couch.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet. I mean, that game is so good. I'm playing it on PC, and I'm trying to get more people to pick it up on PC so we can do some multiplayer. But no, I haven't been playing a lot on my PS4, and I keep buying games for it to kind of like coach me to get up back on the couch to play video games, because sometimes it's just playing so many games on your PC. You just want to sit on your couch and veg with a controller.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially I work from home. I work on the computer. So at some point, I'm done being in this hunched over Gollum position. So yeah, I played Shadow of Mordor on the PS4, so I played that on my couch. That was a wonderful couch game. Because honestly, you don't want to play that with mouse and keyboard anyway. Granted, it will look better on the PC, but
yeah, you know what, it was I think for the Boxing Day sale on the PSN store, it was half price as well. It was very low. I might have to check that out. Sony's been doing an excellent job with sales on their PSN store. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for like $20. Did you end up picking that up?
No, I didn't. I was because I was like, Black Friday's in like 2 days. I know I'm gonna get some games. So
yeah.
Well, that was after Black Friday, wasn't it?
I think it was the first week after Black Friday.
You know what it was? Is I had just gotten Shadows of Mordor. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna play this anytime soon.
You're a smarter man than I, good sir.
Yeah.
Because I see a sale and it's like, that's not gonna go on sale for a long time again. Especially on PSN. With PC, it's like it's easy to say, I'll wait for the Steam sale, you know. So, yeah. Good stuff.
No, plus, I had already played and beaten Tomb Raider, which was a great game.
Yeah, that's a solid argument. I beat it as well. I kind of want to see what it looks like on the PS4, because it does look like they redid a lot of the assets for the character models and stuff.
Okay.
So. Yeah, no, I'll have to check it out. I'm sure I'll be able to talk about it on here at some point once I get through it. But, yeah, Dragon Age is fantastic. Paul's back on the call.
Are we back to Dragon Age again?
No, we're not. We were talking about your Hobbit game.
Are you hating on Dragon Age as well?
No, I'm not hating. No.
We had a bit of an alteration like an hour and a half ago. She's still a little upset about it.
Ryan's been talking about Dragon Age all night, and for like the last 3 or 4 Gamers In episodes, and then tonight he said that Dragon Age was way better than Skyrim, and I should never play Skyrim again because Dragon Age was so much better, and I should just play all the Dragon Age. So to that, I brought out my Skyrim dragon, who's now sitting next to me on my desk and ate
Is
Ryan's
that how you
face.
took it?
Yes.
I said you would when you.
Ryan, that sounds like an overstatement.
Yeah, well, she took it as an overstatement. Really, what I was saying was, if you play Dragon Age, you'll understand that the dragon type stuff in Dragon Age Inquisition is superior to Skyrim. I didn't say you weren't going to play Skyrim again, just that you would enjoy it more. Maybe. I guess it's easy to see. I'm tired. All right.
My dragon is
guys-
eating your
you guys
face
need
again.
Some fucking life. You're all tired.
Well,
Dude, we've been doing this for 3 hours now.
Hey, you know what?
It is
Every
easy
hour
for me to
for
come
every
in
year.
and immediately start criticizing, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been resting and drinking coffee and monsters for the last 3 hours while you guys sit here and talk and not refresh beverages.
Okay. You start hating on Skyrim. Them's fighting words, man.
Thank
play Dragon
you.
Age Inquisition.
I'm just saying.
I'm
No,
gonna.
But it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna bow out, guys. So
Thanks for popping in, Garrett.
I offended
congratulations again.
Yeah, we did.
And-
Did Ryan tell you we played your video off the top of the show?
Oh, you did? Oh, wonderful.
Garrett. Oh, we did.
now
It was
the
fantastic. Thank you very much.
people are getting 2 doses of me. Oh, this is incredibly self-serving and unnecessary. So.
No, it's good because then when we split the episode in half, you'll be on both halves.
Yeah.
Oh, even more self-serving.
We're getting a pre-Hobbit Garrett and a post-Hobbit Garrett. It's a very different world here.
Is it?
No, I don't
Is
know.
it really?
Thanks a lot for calling, man.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye, Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett.
That guy's fantastic.
Yes, he is.
Now
He's
you're probably wondering, why wouldn't you say that when he's on the call? It's like, well, I don't know.
He is. He's a fantastic co-host. He's been really great to work with over the last year and a half.
He's good people.
He is good people. Okay, Valk, I'm looking at you. You got to call in, buddy, because I
It's
think
all-
we're
now
winding
have-
down. So
I have you as a contact, Valk, so feel free to call back, and I will. Oh, wait, I could just push this button.
and call him.
Had to call.
Oh,
Yeah, Paul's back. Jimmy's here. Jimmy, and
Yep, I'm here.
Valk will be in at some point. Paul, what games are you playing?
Good.
I'm playing nothing more than World of Warcraft. That is essentially my life
Oh,
right
another
now.
one of those.
yeah.
Hey,
Are you
we have
playing
lost
Horde
our
or
rhythm,
Alliance?
So eat me. What's up?
Are you playing Horde or Alliance? I never see you online.
I'm on Alliance. I know you and I would love to like group with just the general Frog Pants community more, but it seems like our time zones are completely off.
Well, time zones are off, and if you're playing Alliance, then dude, I'm just gonna shoot you in the face when I
know.
PvP.
I
Actually,
believe
if you're a night elf, that would be really helpful. If you could just stand in front of me and let me kill you 300 times, then I can get my achievement and move on.
I could do that, but that would be foolhardy. I would do that, but you know, the Horde. Whatever, man. They scream, they yell, they talk. That's what they do. They talk.
What?
How are you sure you haven't been podcasting for 3 hours? That argument didn't make much sense.
No, it didn't.
No, I'm trying to avoid Mitsubishi that's in front of me.
Oh, you're driving.
You're not Swick.
I apologize.
Unacceptable, good sir.
Let's return to the conversation. Yeah, I actually do have a Horde character that's on Earthen Ring. I just haven't logged in on him in forever.
What are you playing on, or what's your character on Earthen Ring?
It is a. Let's see. It is a. Oh, shit! Has it been that long? A Tauren Shaman.
Oh, okay. Shaman.
Yeah.
You're a shaman guy, man.
Shaman.
Shaman.
Whatever.
Shaman,
Okay.
shaman, shuman, tomato.
Canadians cannot get all pissy about pronunciation of things.
Paul, do you remember the first time you were on the Gamers Inn? Because we were talking about this, what feels like
Shit.
4 hours ago.
That was like. It was like what? The second episode?
Second or third
remember.
episode, I
It was real
think.
close.
Yeah. Do you remember what game we were talking about? The big,
That was
big game?
amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed that time.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy having you on every time.
Shit, I don't.
I think it was SWOTOR. Must have been.
Aw. And you know what? I'm gonna apologize publicly. I didn't see you at BlizzCon.
I know.
I'm sorry,
Dun,
and that I'm gonna take entire responsibility because I was, I saw the instance. I was there.
You were at the
And
instance? I was
I
at
was
the
there,
instance.
I know. I found that out later.
How did I not see
And then
you?
immediately after that, I had to go to the StarCraft final, and you were like, okay, just so people understand, like I live in California, and I think Joss, it was your first time in California, yeah?
It was.
And yeah, I was literally, I probably couldn't have been more than 30 feet from you, and we still didn't see each other.
Yeah, and he didn't bother to say hi, so I
And
understand.
I feel like
It's
an ass,
fine.
So sorry.
We're totally
didn't-
friends.
I know.
Don't worry.
I know.
I did air quotes
Yeah,
there.
Right. I guess we're
Surprised
not
you didn't
as.
feed him to the dragon.
No, that's just for you, Ryan.
Oh, thanks.
I guess we're not as close as we thought. Tier.
Yeah, if she
So,
really.
but anyway, I'm totally siding with you on the whole Skyrim argument. There's no way. Anywho,
It's
yeah,
it's a flat argument to be made in the first place, guys. If you realize that I'm being serious, like, come on.
No, but I'm going to
spoken.
criticize you as though you are serious.
Oh, okay. That seems to be.
That's how this works, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
No, at least with my Warlords team, like they're just shy of crazy. They're just crazy enough. Like they do a lot of raiding, and they're not the world first type people, but they're just below that.
Wow.
And yeah, there's several degrees better than I ever will be. And yeah.
So why did they let you play with them?
Exactly. Honestly, I know a few of the people in real life. That's really where this comes from.
Ah.
Hmm.
So you're spending all your time playing in Alliance what?
I am a Draenei. I play a mage. That
Ah,
is what I do at the moment. I know.
interesting.
So
I know.
you could probably boost to 90, get to 100, gear up, and start raiding with us.
Maybe.
You should do that.
Should totally do that.
Well,
And
I gotta ration my time, man.
You've got other responsibilities like
no.
a kid.
No, he's fine.
He can do his
He's
own
fine.
stuff, right?
He's got his own
He
level
just-
90.
Right. Oh my gosh.
We raid
Guys,
with him,
seriously,
actually.
he loves it when he sits on my lap for when I manage my garrison. It
Aw.
is unbelievable. He just thinks it's the coolest thing in the world.
That's adorable.
Like
Do you say to him, "Someday, child, this will be all yours"?
I do. I've said
Like,
that
hold
to
him up.
daily.
Ah.
And it's
It's good parenting.
yeah. And not only that, but the kid is just everybody loves him.
Good.
It's scary.
He's pretty
it's-
adorable.
He
We should.
recently learned what a train sounds like. So, anywho,
What does a train sound like, Paul?
ooh, ooh. He
Worst
won't stop whatever.
train ever.
Yeah, that was a stupid question. Anyway,
Well, thanks. Throws me under the bus for making a train sound.
So we should mention we got Valk on the call. Are you there, Valk?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey. So for anybody who doesn't know Valk, we do a lot of PvP stuff together. He is freaking awesome. How did you start listening to Gamers In? I think you found me through Angry Chicken.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I found you through the Angry Chicken, and then I got home today, and I was looking at my email for the Twitch notifications, like, oh hey, A-Move's on, and I clicked on over here, and then you were here.
Perfect.
So right, because I think actually
to be
you
here.
said earlier in the chat that this was your first ever Gamers In episode, right?
Yep. This was the first one. So, nice to meet
Not
you, Ryan.
representative of what we normally do.
Yeah, we're usually out of here, within a reasonable
2.5 hours ago.
That would explain it, because I come home from work. You guys were still on, so.
Right, yeah, because you guys are all California guys, right? Swick, Valk, you guys are
Yep. Well, yeah, I'm in Vegas.
West Coast. Oh man, Ryan, we made it all the way to West Coast time.
I was gonna play some Skyrim after this. So.
You're not allowed to play Skyrim anymore. Your
Oh, right.
Skyrim cred has been revoked.
Well, maybe I'll just go play Dragon Age and not level to level 100.
Just make a legal claim on the term scrolls, and they will make sure that you will never play anything they've made ever.
Really?
Could do
I did
that.
not
or
hear
I could
that.
play ESO. That's probably a good bet.
It's fun. I don't know why people keep hating on it.
Is it still running? It's still a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just
They're
wanna
still
make
taking
sure,
my
right?
money.
I legitimately don't. It's like, guys, we got $15. Let's go buy coffee. No, I got an email from them. They were supposed to have a console version come out this year, and they delayed it again.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Getting bought will do that.
Did they get bought?
No.
Oh, I was like, what? I did not hear that news. Swick, how are you so in all of the like stealth news stories that I haven't heard yet? Because you're making them up.
Oh.
Hey, what really works is just sprinkle it in with a little bit of true stuff, and people will believe you.
That's what I do mostly. You know, just like, hey, guess what? The Wii U is an awesome console because of these reasons. Don't you know?
And you're dreaming, so there it is.
Well, Paul is one of our failed converts. He picked up.
I have one.
I know you do. Notice I said failed, right? You picked it up, and now you
Now you don't touch it.
only
I
talk
don't think
once a week.
Nintendo gives a shit whether or not I like it or not. I bought it.
I agree with you. They probably don't, unfortunately.
So there you go. They've succeeded.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Nintendo. No. It's fine. It's fine.
It's a solid
doing-
system. We're not going to
they're
get
doing
into the Wii U, though.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
talk-
we always talk
You
about
brought
the
it up.
I know I always bring it up just to see the reaction from people, but we've already gone for 3 hours. We don't want to go for another.
I know, I'm trying to think of things to talk about that we haven't already talked about.
What does Valk want to
okay.
talk about?
Yeah, Valk, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, what am I gonna talk about? What kind of pizza do you guys like?
Oh, pizza questions.
I had pizza for dinner, but I don't know about you guys, but I had sometimes I'll order in, but other times I get like the frozen pizzas, like the Delicio Rising Crust.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I got a
Do you
deluxe
know-
one. Ashley doesn't like it, so she picks the olives and the little meatballs off of it.
Oh, she doesn't like the deluxe.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Oh,
love
I
deluxe. It's
I
nice.
love when they put like everything on it. It's the greatest.
Yeah, it's like a nice smattering of flavors, and I see her picking the olives off and the meatballs off, and
Olives
she
are the
doesn't eat her
best.
crust either, so she gives me her crust. And then she's like, "Do you want my?"
So what does she
extras?"
eat? Just the pepperoni and the cheese off, like scrape it off the bread?
she eats everything else on it. It's still like pizza. It's just I like getting the deluxe, and she's like, "Well, as long as you understand, I'm gonna pick the shitty toppings off."
Well, I guess that's an advantage of the deluxe because if you don't like a certain thing, you just pick it right off, and then you have whatever kind of pizza you want.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just if you're
all
picking
pizzas in
olives off,
one.
and let's face it, like the little sausage balls on a Rising Crust Delicio pizza, I doubt it's real meat. So it's probably a smart call in my, so yeah.
Are fake vegetables better than fake meat? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Do they make fake vegetables?
Pretty sure vegetables. It's cheaper to have real vegetables as opposed to fake vegetables.
Well, nobody wants them, so probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Mostly water, anyways. But I'm a Domino's man through and through when it comes to ordering pizza in.
I've started getting Domino's too. I used to be a pizza person, but it's terrible down here. Absolutely horribly awful. I don't know.
Wait. Pizza.
It's
As
a
in Little
Canadian-
Caesars?
No, it's
No.
a Canadian thing. We
Oh.
have Little Caesars here as well. Pizza is a separate organization.
Yeah. Which used to be my go-to. There was one around the house, around the corner from our house growing up, and I loved it so much. And then the one down here is just awful, terrible, horrible. So now I've started ordering Domino's.
Here, I'm a big Pizza Hut fan.
Ooh, pizza.
Oh.
I'll do Papa John's, Domino's, any of it.
Here in Vegas, we have a wide array of little small delicious pizza shops, like little independent shops everywhere. And
Doesn't Vegas
they're
have pretty much
great.
everything? Like, don't you
Yeah,
have
I
like
think-
Paris and
yeah,
Vegas and like
Yeah.
Egypt and Vegas?
I think we do. So like you can have whatever kind of pizza. You could have New York pizza. You could have Italian pizza. You could have American pizza. You can have whatever you want here in Vegas. And,
Do you
whatever
guys
you're in
have
the mood
mellow
for.
mushroom up there?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of mellow mushroom.
Jocelyn, I saw that in the chat room.
Damn
I
it!
don't know how
I
far
thought I
it
could
goes.
sneak it in.
Very far north and west.
Oh, pizza's
Yeah.
delicious. Now I'm hungry. I'm probably gonna have leftovers. For
I'm totally
my
gonna go have leftover pizza as
midnight
soon as we
snack
hang up
or
this call.
whenever we stop. Like I don't know. Like pizza's a delicious thing, and
It's the only thing I've been eating for probably about a month and a half now.
kind of jealous.
I'm like, oh, I'm out of leftover pizza. Guess I should order another one.
You're describing my university career because every Friday we'd be like, I don't want to go grocery shopping. Well, let's just order like 3 pizzas. I almost said 6, which is probably more accurate because I live with 2 other guys. And what we do is from the bookstore we got these coupons, and they were like 2 for 1, and like 2 for 1 pizzas. So we'd order an extra large, you get a second.
2 for 1 coupons.
Yeah, you understand how 2 for 1 coupons work. But there's no stipulation, and the delivery guys never took it unless their manager was on call, and they'd never take the coupon. You just order it, pay them the amount, they leave all the pizzas, and we just leave them out on the table all weekend. And it's like, you're hungry? You don't even need to go near the fridge. You just slip past the kitchen table, grab a slice,
Oh,
right
God.
home.
You leave them out all weekend?
Yeah. Oh well, maybe we chuck them in the fridge like
at nighttime.
like at night to make sure nothing got into them.
Yeah.
It's probably accurate. But and if you ever been to we called it the Palace for oxymoron reasons or opposite reasons. Oxymoron is not correct, but yeah, that you wouldn't want to leave food out of that place. Let's just say that.
Oh man, I don't know if I want any more Ryan University stories.
Oh, they're great. The Ryan University stories are great. We basically we called it the Palace because our basement was a dungeon, and we had to shower down there for a good 6 months. This was before I met Ashley, but the basement was unfinished, concrete floor, and downstairs you go down, and it looked like the set of a Saw film, except in the corner there was like a shower stall and a laundry set. So you can
Pretty
imagine.
sure there was a shower area in the Saw.
Yeah, well, maybe it was maybe that's where they shot Saw 1.
That's where they got the inspiration.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this room. I'm assuming the Saw manufacturers are French.
I'm
And it's like,
so
this is great.
hungry now.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't have dinner either.
You didn't eat
All right,
dinner?
No.
I would,
What's wrong with you?
I told you I fell asleep by accident and woke up 15 minutes before the show.
And you've been podcasting ever since.
Exactly. I need to shove some food into my face hole.
Well,
That's
I would-
impressive.
I would totally come make you pizza, except I don't have a passport.
Aw, you should get a
We'd have to, like-
passport. Canada's
We'd have to,
awesome.
Have to stand on opposite sides of Niagara Falls Bridge and just hand it over.
Throw it like a frisbee.
Yeah.
no, you can
I'll
just
take good
walk it
pieces.
across, right, on a tightrope.
You ever have macaroni and cheese pizza?
No.
Delicious.
No.
What is it?
No.
Well,
Give him the
there's
benefit of the doubt,
there's a-
Jocelyn. He's a
there's a,
guest.
there's a pizza buffet, a chain called CC's,
Uh-huh.
and they have it there, and I've made it at home too. It's really just, like cheese sauce with some shredded cheese and noodles on a pizza.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
You're a
trust me,
sending signal. You better be pulling over, Paul.
trust me, it's so good.
I actually would. Oh no. I- yeah.
This is the most dangerous episode of the Gamers Inn you've ever listened to.
If we hear squealing tires, I'm killing the stream.
No. Fuck you, sir. Fuck you. I'm sorry.
Can you tell he lives in L.A.?
Yeah, really.
It's what you call a California howdy.
My LA experience was not like that. It was very pleasant.
Oh, that's nice. It's nothing like the cabbies in Toronto. I was there for my bachelor party, and those guys, oof, they do not treat you any better when you're dressed with a cape and knight crown.
I'd imagine it's a bit worse.
Well,
All right.
they just drive
Okay.
really fast.
Quick educational point.
Makes me sound like a LARPer.
Do you know the proper way
That's-
to make a frozen pizza?
You put it in the oven when it's frozen?
Oh my god. Murphy, you are killing me.
A stone
What?
tablet?
What are you supposed to do with a frozen pizza other than heat it up?
Okay, see,
I stick it in the microwave.
I've
What?
had a few
What?
frozen pizzas. No, you. Oh my god.
Now he's gonna crash.
Oh, Valk.
No, there's an art form. You got okay. This is what you do. You
Explain.
take it out. You take it out of the little container that it's in, fully frozen. Let's just say you just pulled it out of the freezer.
I did.
You take it out of its little container. You let it sit for like say 15 minutes.
No, it says specifically that you need to take it straight out of the freezer. It says do not let thaw.
You should not listen to that, and you should listen to me. So next, oregano, lightly sprinkled. It's just as you see fit.
What's the point in buying frozen? I should I should put the extra effort that you're describing with oregano into calling Domino's.
Where do I even get oregano?
Yeah, what is this?
Oh my
oregano
gosh.
you speak of?
Next, chili flakes. Depending on your level of spice that you like. If you're like a little bit more, if you like a little bit more kick, you should put more chili flakes on it. Next,
Pull over.
You put it into the oven after the crust is semi-pliable. Right?
This is too many steps. I mean,
It's a lot of
when I got home,
I take it out and I throw it in the oven.
I watched Newsroom for minutes. I got up, my pizza was done.
By the time it takes to do all this, I could have made the pizza and eaten the whole damn thing.
I really like homemade pizza. Homemade pizza is really good.
Yeah, that's different. If you want to put the effort into the pizza, like you know what you signed up for. But what Paul's describing is like, it's like you get to the drive-thru.
What I'm describing is human decency. What I'm describing is America.
You're telling me I have to go to the frozen pizza aisle and then the chili flakes aisle, then the oregano aisle?
Next thing you know, I'm gonna have to go buy some time.
I was gonna say this sounds a whole lot like groceries, which is what we're trying to avoid, people.
You're taking the easiest food imaginable to make for dinner and making like an entire meal out of it.
I'm making the best food better. How could you go wrong?
Look, let me describe what I did after work.
What I'm hearing is a lot of just impatience. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, that's why we buy frozen pizza, dude. Impatient.
If I'm gonna be patient and spend the time, I will just make the pizza myself. I will get a crust, get all the toppings, the cheese and sauce, and make it myself. Not get a frozen pizza.
No. Why?
Because it's probably less work overall.
The frozen pizza you are describing, Paul, is not convenient. And that was 2 knots for emphasis, not 2 knots to cancel each other out and actually be a positive.
Not.
I'm gonna take the latter to that statement. Anywho.
I think you're making a frozen pizza into like a whole Thanksgiving dinner preparation.
Is there stuffing involved?
Shit.
Oh God, I hope not. Stuffed crust is
Now you're giving
disgusting.
me ideas.
Stuffed crust is amazing. Shut up, Ryan.
Oh.
Yes, Jimmy.
Oh man,
You guys said you wanted to talk about something else. Fuck.
See, here
We didn't know you were going to be so fundamentally wrong.
We're serious about pizza prep, like.
Yeah, this is the most like in-depth pizza preparation argument I think I've ever been.
Good. Your listeners should know. The people, they need to know.
It's a public service announcement about frozen pizza prep.
Public service announcement. Making a frozen pizza should take an hour.
No, half hour tops. Tops. I admittedly am doubling your pizza prep time, but worth every minute.
How can you double 0 minutes? That's still 0 minutes, Paul.
Okay, so you're telling me that, okay, so good. We're in agreement then. It is the same prep.
No, I'm saying you're not doubling my time. You're like, I don't even know the math on that. It's so crazy.
It's like
it is infinitely worse, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes, it pretty much is.
The more spices you add, it approaches infinity.
Infinity.
Nobody
Okay,
wants
what kind of cereal do you eat?
One that I put
Sweet
milk
ones?
on and be done with. I don't know.
I don't usually eat cereal.
Tell me you people do not just have the cereal that is served to you.
You just put the cereal in the bowl and you put some milk in the bowl and you
Talking
put it
about,
in your
Paul.
face.
Of course you just put it in the bowl. Like Jocelyn's spot on.
I think we've lost Paul. He's just given up.
He threw his phone out the window at that guy who cut him off. Hey, you try to talk some sense to them. All right. Do they like frozen pizza with oregano? No. Damn it.
No me gusta. Sorry, let me out.
Well, first the cereal needs to sit in the bowl for 15 minutes.
And then put oregano.
You need to make sure it's pliable.
Get your fingers in there and really work it.
a regular bowl of cereal like borderline's too much work in the morning.
Yeah. Sometimes
You
I
want me
just
to
go
do more?
pour an extra cup of coffee and I suck it up. Like that's my
Okay, my work here is complete. I got you guys talking. Anywho,
Thanks
you
for
all.
hanging out, Paul. Actually, yeah, we should probably just kill the stream now. 3.5 hours, I think, is enough for a 3-year anniversary special.
Yeah, next year we're not doing 4 hours. We're
No.
not doing the 1 hour for every year, but
Say that now.
Yeah, we do say that now. Valk, you want a PvP?
Oh yeah, I'm done.
PvP.
Does Ryan do any PvP?
Ryan's not even max level yet.
hey, you know what? I promise you I will PvP with you guys as soon as I hit the required level. How's that sound?
That sounds great. You should totally come with us.
Sweet. I like PvP. It's just I'm never at a point that at a level where I can play or I have people who actually do play. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
We
always
should
have
find
fun
out if
right
there's enough people in the chat room who want to do like rated battlegrounds or something instead of arena. Not that I don't love arena, but I love battlegrounds.
Yeah, I'm up for anything.
We should
I'm
see
gonna
what we can pull
PvP
together.
and Smite.
I know, I thought about that too. I was like, oh man, I should totally smite. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not capped on Conquest. And Valk is here, so I need to take advantage of Valk while I can.
True.
Whoa.
No, not. Ah.
Get in, get some PvP in with the old Valk.
Exactly.
Oh, good.
All right, dudes. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to kill the stream. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us over the last 3 years. It seems kind of crazy, and we've come so far. Thank you to Garrett for having us on A-Move. Yeah, just thank you, everyone, for all of the things. I'm tired. We've
No,
been
it's
talking
great.
for too long.
I didn't expect
I'll
this to go
outro
this
it.
late.
In peace and freedom from fear, thank you all to the gamers and community, and we love you.
Oh, shit. We have to read Val's email. Okay, we're going to read Val's email, and then we're going to be done.
You want to do that? Okay.
Yes, we have to. We absolutely have to. So Val has been one of our fans since literally the first episode. She is fantastic. She's just, she's been with us for 3 years. We love her. She is our Mass Effect multiplayer girl. She comes on with us every Extra Life. She's been super supportive. So she sent us an email. And she says, greetings to both of our wonderful hosts. I want to say congratulations on yet another milestone. I can't believe you guys have been on the air for 3 years. Neither can we. Seriously, where does the time go? I remember the first time you guys read one of my emails on air. It was about Skyrim and how I wasn't able to marry the leader of the Thieves Guild in the game. I never did finish that game, but I remained a faithful listener of the Inn. You guys are one of the first podcasts I ever listened to when I got my brand new shiny iPod Touch. 3 years later, that iPod now has a broken power button, but I still use it to listen to the Inn, even if I'm a couple of episodes behind. In closing, congratulations once again. Play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer more often. I'm currently saving up my hard-earned money to buy a Doghouse Systems gaming laptop so I can play more games with you guys. I'm sick of feeling left behind because my Mac, even if I love it. Oh, because of my Mac, even if I love it. And besides, those laptops look so damn cool. Au revoir from the Frenchie. So thank you very much for your email, Val. It means a lot that you've stuck with us through all of this time, the ups and the downs, the crazy segment names that lasted an episode.
Yeah. Even if we're talking about games, like she makes a really good point. Like we're talking about games that she doesn't play or has not played. That just, again, goes back to the fact that we are discussing the games that we are playing. And sometimes the games that other people are playing. And sometimes
Every once in a
discussing
while.
how we can't marry the leader of the Thieves Guild, which I couldn't do as well. And
She is all over all of the romancing and relationshiping stuff in the games that normally I just glaze right over because I have to save the universe. So
Yeah, see, Val gets me. Like I was right there with her. Like, oh, you know, like when I was describing the gender bug to her in the game that shall not be mentioned, you know, she was like, yeah, that makes total sense. You should wait for the patch. Everyone else is like, dude, just keep on trucking and save the world. What
yeah,
do you
like
mean? Hey, the world can wait.
until you're done your romance. I get it.
Advance the storyline, develop relationships. What are you without your companions?
On that note, we need to remind everyone that we are not going to do an episode on the 26th because it is the holidays. We have Christmas the day before. Those of us in Canada, the 26th is Boxing Day, which is still significant family time for some people. For me, it means shopping.
Yeah.
Also important. And then after that, on January 2nd, we will be doing our Game of the Year episode. So if there's stuff you guys want us to talk about, or if you guys want to give us your picks for Game of the Year, then feel free to email us. If you'd like to visit us on the web, you can do so at gamersinpodcast.com. You can find us on A-Move TV along with other fabulous podcasts, including Into the Nexus, Campaign Roundtable, The Angry Chicken, and A-Move Radio. You can follow us on Twitter. You can find me, Jocelyn, at GISGamer. Ryan is at R. Murphy, and don't forget to follow the show at The Gamers Inn. The video versions of all our episodes can be found on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Jocelyn Moffat. You can also find the show on Facebook and Google+. So if you'd like to email us and tell us all about all of the everything that we talked about tonight, so much so that I can't even begin to start recapping, you can.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
I'm there with you. Don't worry. This is gonna be like I'm gonna write the note for this episode. It's like, what the hell?
But if you would like to give us your thoughts, you can email the show at info@gamersinpodcast.com. So remember, something about in something, and tune in next week, except for not actually next week, the week after next week.
Thanks for staying at the Gamers Inn.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, it's late. and
Jim
pizza
can
must be-
outro it for me. It's like 1 a.m. On a podcast, it's normally over at 11. So, cut me some slack. Thanks, dudes.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.